Hello. What's up this afternoon, everyone? Evening, everyone? Night, everyone? Whatever, close enough. Welcome. Fine Thursday to y'all. Good to see ya. What is up, Benny Money, Cordip Gaming, and Ryu, and Titan Whale? And we have the Wizard stream on right now, because they're supposed to be showing off more cards, maybe? I don't know, perhaps. So I figured we would see them live and be able to react to them live, if that is indeed what happens. So we'll see. We'll see if we get new cards from Wizards in just a minute. Not Henzy, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big jump for you. Thank you. Oddity, good to see you. Welcome. Titan Whale, JP the Pirate. How are you? Eberil, Blazer, Shrew, Zach Zelda, or Zelda Zach, and Zelda Zagbach. How's everyone doing today? Welcome. It is Thursday. It is spoiler season. Kaldheim looks insane. We are going to modern. We're going to see if they show off a magic card here. Like, they got to be getting to the very end of their stream. Doesn't it usually go for until when we start our stream? Like, shouldn't it be over now or ending now? So I assume if they're showing a card, it's going to happen really soon. So we'll wait a minute and see if they show off a card. And then we're playing Modern tonight to start with, and maybe Cube after Modern, depending on how long our league takes. So it is going to be spectacular. Armed and Armored seems like a great historic build-around game. Wait, what is Armed and Armored? Armed and Armored? Is that a new Kaldheim card? We'll look at the Kaldheim spoiler list in a minute, too. That is on our list. I just want to see if they show off a new card. I don't know what they're doing over on the WotC channel. It says more previews. That's the only reason I have it up. I didn't think they were previewing more, but apparently they're going. Let's hear what they're saying.
Creature. Yeah, lots of really cool cards here. I mean, if you haven't...
Lots of real cool cards here. We have a new donation from MTG Sardine. Put a Stormcrow on the sideboard for me, MTG Sardine. Well, thank you for the donation, and I will see what I can do. Thank you. You can't hear the WotC stream. Well, I haven't had it turned on. I turned it on for just a second, but I've had the volume off.
And I'm excited to see how.
Thankfully, if you can't hear the WotC stream, you're not actually missing much. There is rambling about the list at the moment, which is not especially interesting. So, in just a minute, I'm just waiting. They got one more heading to go. And apparently they're supposed to show more previews. That is the only reason this is up. But we can look at our deck real quick. So what are we doing today as we wait for this preview maybe to show up? I was just going to start with Cube today. That was my initial plan, was to just go cubing. However, then I realized someone 5-0 with Clerics? Straight up Cleric tribal in Modern. Like, CoCo, every single creature in the main deck and the sideboard is a Cleric, and I figured, I mean, we gotta try this CoCo Cleric deck. So we're gonna try CoCo Clerics, and then, if we have time, we will do some cubing, and we will talk about spoilers as we go along as well, because we got new Kaldheim cards, and Kaldheim looks really sweet. So, what do you think? Like, so far, we've only seen a little bit of the set, just the early spoilers, but what are you thinking about this set? Like, how are you feeling about Kaldheim? Are you more hyped now than you were 3 days ago or whatever, before we started the week of metal? Like, is the hype level increasing? Well, I get paid to talk about them. Oh my goodness. The getting paid for spoilers. We talked about it a little bit on Thursday. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it in this case. Like, I definitely get the idea of getting paid for your work, but there's so many people, the supply of people that is willing to spoil a magic card for free. Honestly, if Wizards thought of this, and I'm very glad they haven't yet, if Wizards wanted to, they could make a lot of money every set by selling the spoilers. Like, people would pay Wizards money to get access to a spoiler card. Like, if they auction them off, they would make money at that. Like, so there's just not a whole lot of bargaining power from the position of, I want to get paid for spoilers. Like, yes, I get it. Like, you're doing work, you're putting effort into it, you should get paid for your work and effort. You can't just turn down a spoiler. It's not like you're required to take it. So that is part of the other side. But really, like, there are so many people that would pay for a spoiler. It's going to be really tough for anyone to go to Wizards and be like, hey, please, pay me hundreds of dollars to preview this card, when there's thousands of people that would probably pay Wizards to do the same thing. So, well, can we see these cards, Wizards? Come on, Wizards. Come on, Blake.
Excited. So Yeah, as chat notes, it's approximately 1 in every 4-ish boosters, 25%, however you want to look at it.
Oh, Blake. All right, show us these. All right, we can look at spoiler cards, I guess. I know as soon as I click off of this, then they're going to show the spoiler cards, and we're going to miss it. So that is the issue. That is the problem. How much would you pay if you could spoil a card? Like if Wizards was like, all right, if you give us money, we will give you a spoiler, like a high rarity, like a rare or better spoiler. What would you pay? What would you actually pay for a spoiler card? I mean, we look at cards that have already been spoilered. Did I say spoilered? I think I did. We can look at cards that have already been spoilered. I'm excited to try it too. $0, $50, 50 cents. Would you pay more or less for a spoiler card than a mythic wild card on Arena? That's the real question. I mean, so what have we seen? Oh, wait, that's a black series. Oh, so close. Wait, is this? Oh, this is more. Okay. Oh, this is it? The more previews are. Ah, it's not snow mana.
Black and green. Legendary creature, Elf Noble. It is a 2/3 with Menace.
Okay.
Whenever Lathril, Blade of the Elves, deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. And then tap 10 untapped elves you control.
I'm really curious about what Foretell is. So here are the two cards that Wizards are showing off. These are the two face cards of the Commander deck. The Elf Commander, I really want to know what Foretell is.
Lathril tapping and draining a lot of Commander tables for 10 life at a time.
Yes.
That sounds accurate, yes.
Raynar, the
Explain Foretell, please.
Is also a 4-mana, 2, a white and a blue legendary creature, Spirit Warrior, a 2/3 with flying and vigilance. The first card you foretell each turn costs 0 to foretell. We haven't revealed what foretell is yet.
And guess what? We're not gonna. So sorry,
We're
chat.
not gonna.
We're not going to. You're just gonna have to.
They're not gonna say what foretell. Oh my goodness. Boo! I mean, whenever you see 0, you get a little bit excited and think, wow, that could actually do something. But without knowing what foretell is, like, it could be great, it could be awesome. It's really, I guess maybe we give up on the Wizard stream. Maybe we give up. I think they tricked us. We waited around for a long time for this more previews tab to come up. And it was 2 Commander deck cards that were already, like, semi-released and people had already been talking about because they had leaked or been spoiled. I don't know how they got spoiled, actually. It looked like product shots of it. Well, I guess the one thing we did learn from this is no snow mana, apparently, in the set. There was a lot of speculation that this 0 in the blurry image that we saw was snow mana. Looking less and less likely that there's actually going to be snowman in the set. So, well, if anything sweet comes up on the stream, we will talk about it later. But we can't just watch Wizards stream all night. That doesn't make sense. Good news is we do have actual spoiler cards, and there are some good ones. Like, so far, this set looks really sweet. Those were cards from the 2 Commander decks coming with the set. Our newest spoiler is Surulf Realm Eater. It is a wolf, and it actually is a pretty powerful card. 3 mana, 3/3, when a permanent opponent controls goes to the graveyard, gets a +1/+1 counter. That at the beginning of your upkeep, you can remove all the counters from it, and if you do, you exile each other non-land permanent with converted mana cost equal or less than the number of counters removed this way. So essentially, you play this, your opponent cracks some fetch lands, maybe you kill their stuff, it gets a couple of counters, you either get a big creature or you remove all those counters, exile everything except for Surulf. I actually think it's pretty powerful. I'm actually like almost curious to see if it'll see play in Modern. Like in a world where people play fetch lands, it seems even better. If it triggered on your stuff, it'd be insane, because then you could like tireless tracker shenanigans, play it, crack a fetch, immediately throw it out of lightning bolt range, and then the next turn remove the counter, like get rid of all the 1-drops, get rid of all the 0-drops, exiling them forever. So I think it's still reasonable, although dying to bolt is a downside. We have another new donation. This one from Anchoviacalypse, $3 donation. Why would Wizards give money to spoil a card when they can send $2 or more to get my message run on? Exactly. You know how the value The value trade works at Joviocalypse. I appreciate your donation of $2 or more and reading your message on stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, what's up, God Socks? I mean, what do you think of the gods? What do you think of this flip god thing? So one half you got a decent creature, the back half you have a decent equipment. Kind of an interesting take on MDFCs. I think that it's going to be a powerful ability. I don't know about Helvar in specific. I think the equipment side is actually decent-ish. The returning the creature to your hand when it dies seems pretty powerful. The front half, oh, it was so close to be good. The fact that it doesn't let you equip for free makes me really, really sad. Like, it only moves around stuff that's already equipped. I wanted to be a Colossus Hammer card, but it was not meant to be, apparently. Ipe, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. The thing I will say about these gods, or this god that we've seen so far, is I actually really love the design. Like, if you actually think about the card, I don't think this card's busted or anything. I think it's fine in an equipment deck, but I really love the synergy of this card. So you have a god that doesn't have protection. However, if you draw a second copy of your legendary god, rather than having a dead legend, you can play it as a sword and put the sword on your god, and then you do have protection. If it dies, it comes back to your hand. So it, like, cunningly gets around one of the big problems with legends. It also cunningly gets around one of the big problems with equipment payoffs. Like, Helvar is both a equipment payoff that wants you to have a bunch of equipments in your deck, and it's also a pretty good equipment. So just by playing Helvar, you are by default going to have the payoffs and have the support cards in the same deck, which I think is really cool. Kaya's interesting. I don't know what to make of Kaya as far as how good it is, but I do think it's a really fun planeswalker. -3 makes it relevant to Commander. I think just exiling anything for 3 mana. I think Magda, though, geez, so far the set looks strong to me. Magda, this card feels busted to me. Like, this tap a dwarf to make a treasure is good, and then sack 5 treasures to tutor out any artifact or dragon. That is absurd. Like, to me, that feels relatively busted. Maybe it'll be a Commander thing more than anything, but it is not that hard to make 5 treasures. It's really easy to make 5 treasures. And then you just get a Blightsteel Colossus and win the game. You get some massive dragon. It's very easy to get value out of stacking 5 treasures. Realmwalker is also sweet. I'm shocked that Changelings are back in Standard. I did not expect that. This is a good one. This is one I think sees play all the way back to Legacy in decks like Elves. In Elves, just imagine Realmwalker on Elf, a Beast Whisperer on the battlefield, and then just random, like, Heritage Druid, Llanowar Elf mana productions. It seems like it's pretty easy to play through your entire deck with Realmwalker, Heritage Druid, Beast Whisperer, which is all cards in Elf decks going to want to play anyway, so I think that's sweet. The frame is really sweet. Like, this is top tier showcase framing, I think. Just so good. The Viking frame, or whatever they're going to call it. This is fine. Drawing cards is good. I like multicolor sagas. I like sagas. Pyre of Heroes, I actually think is not as good, but we have seen Changelings, and if there's a bunch of Changelings, then Pyre of Heroes gets way better, so I think his set looks really good so far. Like, I'm way more hyped. Way more hyped than I was a couple of days ago. And I already had Kaldheim as the standard set I was most excited for. Did I see Marrow's teasers? I did. Let me see if I can find it, but we'll look at it real quick. And then I promise we are also going to play Magic. I promise. This is not just Seth rambles about spoilers for 3 hours. Marrow's teasers. Okay, last thing, and then we'll do reminders. We'll talk about the deck. We'll start playing Magic, play some Modern, maybe get to some Cube. Kendrick, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Wait, did Cube lose to construction on the Twitter poll? No, Cube won. But then I found this Cleric deck, and I can't help but want to play the Cleric deck. So I figured we're going to play the Cleric deck, and then if we had time, we would Cube. Otherwise, we'll Cube like Monday or something. I will do more Cube, because I was surprised how many people wanted Cube. But when I put up the poll, I didn't know this Cleric deck was a thing. I found the Cleric deck after I put up the poll, and I did, like, Clerics are sweet. Like, how could we not try Modern Clerics? So, yeah, basically, we're Tomering. So, Marrow's teasers for Kaldheim. What do we find out? 5-color legendary enchantment. That could be anything. Like, who knows what that could be? Literally anything. 2 and a B for a 6/6 Death Touch. Okay. Maybe that's gonna be the. I was going to say the Black God, but that sounds kind of busted. There's got to be some sort of drawback going on. A card that allows you to kill someone with poison. I don't know if a card that allows you to kill someone with poison, I mean, infect equals poison. Poison counters come from infect. So that is true, although I'm really curious what that means. Like, a card that allows you to kill someone with poison, in theory, like, if Miro wants to be really tricky, could you include Contagion Engine? Could Contagion Engine be a card that allows you to kill someone with poison? Because you get one poison counter on your opponent, and then you proliferate a bunch of times, you'll kill them with poison. So I don't know if this is Miro being, like, really sneaky and tricky, or if there's actually going to be some sort of, like, infect or poison card in Standard. A card that has double white, double blue, double black, double red, double green, tap activation. The only card that exists like that, I believe, is Door to Nothingness. I would be down with Door to Nothingness in Standard. I don't know, does Door to Nothingness fit the Kaldheim flavor? I don't know much about Norse mythology. Like, is there anything that resembles, hey, thank you, QMac. Is there anything along the lines of Door to Nothingness that fits with Norse mythology? Otherwise, it could be a similar card or something. So, it isn't Door, oh, they confirmed it's not Door to Nothingness? Ooh, interesting. I mean, maybe it's like Door to Nothingness, but you don't have to sack it. That would be pretty sweet. I want to play Door to Nothingness in Commander, but it's annoying that you have to sacrifice it, and you can't kill the whole table with it. A card that lets you use a creature's toughness to perform an action normally using a creature's power. I'm going to go with Fling. I think it's going to be Toughness Fling. Some sort of Toughness Fling card, which I think would be pretty sweet. Numerous new non-creature tokens. We have gold, we have treasures, we have rocks, maybe there's equipment tokens. We've seen some equipment tokens in the past. That could make sense. You think it's Crew. Wait, what's Crew? Oh, Clue Junior? Mega Clues? I like Clues a lot. Clues are really good. Yeah, we're gonna be playing Modern very shortly. A card that that can make a token that's a copy of target permanent with no mana. It's got to be something weird, like some sort of like weird secondary ability with some sort of big drawback. There's no way it's just 0 mana, make a token copy of something. It's got to have some weird condition on it, I think. Black creature that can copy other creatures is also weird. That's not something we normally see, unless it's like Dimir, then it would make some amount of sense, but mono black would be strange for a Claude. The introduction of a creature type that players have been waiting for years. I really hope that this is just Changelings, and Maro can be like, hey, it's all creature types, so anything you've been waiting for, it's technically that. That would just crack me up, but I'm sure it's, I would guess it's Bard. Bard would make sense with the musical theme, and it would make sense heading towards a D&D set in the future, so I mean, Valkyries could also work too. I think Bard is the most likely. A card that has 3 activation costs, 1 that's been used once, 2 that have never been used. Who knows? Simp is a rule text protection from god creatures. Probably means a lot of gods. Sacrifice 5 treasures. We already saw that with the red legend to tutor out a dragon or an artifact. If 3 more creatures died this turn, choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Except for giants, wizards, and lands. Probably a wrath. Maybe destroy all permanents except for giants, wizards, and lands, I would guess. You may search your library for a rune card. We have no idea what a rune card is, but that's pretty interesting. As long as you control 3 more legendary creatures, could do anything. Put a counter on it, counter a spell, draw 10 cards. Who knows with that one? X is the number of vehicles plus the number of equipments you control. As long as you have at least 7 more life than your starting life total. We see that with Speaker of the Heavens has that exact same ability. Create X of those tokens instead. Probably like cast this, make 2 tokens, and then if you cast it from the graveyard or some sort of like flashback mechanic or kicker mechanic, create so many of those tokens instead. So anyway, that's Kaldheim. And then a bunch of creature types. We've already seen some of these. We saw the legendary wolf. We know that there's going to be demon berserkers. There's going to be a legendary squirrel in Standard, which is ridiculous. So that is legendary squirrel. So that's Kaldheim, and the set looks sweet. Legendary Matters is nice for historic. Yeah, some nice synergy with Dominaria. Maybe this is like Viking Dominaria. That would be Probably a good choice. Dominaria was super popular. Anyway, all right, quick reminders, and then we got to play Magic. We got to play Magic. I know we've been rambling on too long about spoilers and about Kaldheim, but I'm really hyped for this set. The set looks really sweet. Hey, what's up, Donos? How are you? So, Replay YouTube, that's where you'd find all the old streams, including this one, in the future, normal YouTube. Spoiler coverage, already got our first daily spoiler up, so if you want more of my ramblings about spoilers, you can find it on the YouTube channel. There is also Against the Odds with some Reaper King action, Commander Clash tomorrow, a Memer Dream this weekend, so tons of stuff coming up on the YouTube channel. And our sponsor today, a quick reminder, is Card Kingdom. And if you need some Magic cards, you get them at cardkingdom.com, even get a free Scoop Soldier sticker. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Otherwise, Discord, new and improved. Merch page has tokens, t-shirts, playmats, get away with support the stream, and the channel and the site donations. We've already had a couple, but they're always appreciated. Never required. $2 or more gets your message read on stream. And good lord, whoo! Those are reminders. That is Kaldheim spoilers. When are we playing the Sarkhan's Sealing deck from our previous stream? Ooh, that's a possibility. We'll have to see. What's on your Christmas list this year, Seth? Christmas list? I don't really have a Christmas list. I feel like the older you get, the shorter your Christmas list gets. I definitely remember banning Uro. I put that on Twitter, asking Santa to ban Uro in Historic, but I don't know if that'll believe. So, all right. Deck 1 today. We are starting in Modern, and we are playing, of all things, Clerics. Cleric Tribal. Literally every creature in our entire deck is a Cleric. So why are we playing a bunch of Clerics? Like, what is the synergy of this deck? So we have Collected Company, 2 Clerics for the price of 1, but why is it all Clerics in our deck? And we don't have a ton of super straightforward payoffs. We have Metallic Mimic, which can be a Cleric Lord once we put it on the battlefield, putting counters on things. We have Cleric of Life Spawn, which gains us life and puts counters on itself. We have Conclave Mentor, which is a Cleric to double up the counters from Metallic Mimic, from Cleric of Life Spawn, from Luminarchus Pirate. We have Tabrax to draw cards as our Clerics die and also maybe grow as our stuff dies. And that's essentially the idea of the deck, like putting Clerics on the battlefield, putting counters on the Clerics on the battlefield, a little bit of removal with Fiend Hunter. Selfless Spirit, I actually didn't even realize was a Cleric, but it is good protection against Wrath and a Flying Cleric. Giver of Runes, also a Cleric. Sideboard, even more Clerics. Ethersworn Canonist, our combo hate Cleric. Leonin Arbiter, our Primeval Titan / Fetch Land hate Cleric. Remorseful Cleric, our Graveyard hate Cleric. Auriac Champion, our Mono Red / Scourge of the Skyclave / Lightning Cleric, and more Fiend Hunters for removal, and that's a deck. Clericing. No aura to be able to get Clerics back if you get board wiped. So I think that aura is there's 2 issues with aura. Issue 1 is too expensive for CoCo. As you can see, we have 29 creatures, which is already, it's fine. That's a decent number, but you really don't want to go below 28, 29 creatures in a CoCo deck. So that's issue number 1. Like, to play auras, we would most likely have to cut cheap creatures because outside of Aethervine and Collected Company, there's nothing else to cut from the deck. Issue 2 is there's not that many sweeper decks that we're going to face in the Modern format for the most part. Path to Exile is a pretty popular removal spell, so I don't think Aura would be bad. Maybe it could be considered as a sideboard slot for removal heavy matchups, but I think that's the reason that it is not in the deck currently. No Containment Priest for Uro. So Containment Priest doesn't actually stop Uro, right? I'm pretty sure that Containment Priest only stops creatures that were not cast, and Escape actually counts as casting the creature. So Realm Walker, yeah, Realm Walker's really good CoCos, I believe. Yeah, Elves, it was the first tribe that I thought of for the deck. I do think I would consider playing Beast Whisper. I think Beast Whisper is what I'm excited for. I think maybe I'm more excited for it in Modern, where in Modern you also have Heritage Druid to keep making mana. But I do think that the Elves with Realm Walker seems really insane. Yeah, it looks sweet, CoCos. Yeah, Containment Priest just doesn't hit that much, unfortunately. As for a pair of slippers, yeah, what's on your Magic Christmas list? You get to ask Santa for one Magic related. It can be a gift that you want. It can be a banning. What are you asking Santa for? Hey, what's up, Isabel? How are you? What are you asking Magic Santa for? Secret lairs? You want secret lairs, or you want them to stop making secret lairs? I asked Santa for the return of Kamigawa. This set feels a little bit Lorwyn-y to me. Like, I didn't expect this to feel like Lorwyn, but seeing Kaldheim so far, and seeing Changelings, seeing the tribal sub-theme, it kinda sorta reminds me of Lorwyn, which is not what I expected. I was not thinking it was gonna be Lorwyn-esque. The Giants do it too. Ban Eldraine from every format. Well, that's actually a pretty good Christmas wish. Unban Birthing Pod in Modern. Ugh. I don't know. Is Modern in so degenerate of a place now that Birthing Pod is fine? Maybe. Maybe it's just fine. Return to Phyrexia. I would like to return to Phyrexia. Although I'm a little nervous that every time we have an artifact block or artifact set, things get broken. But I liked original Mirrodin. Outside of it breaking standard, but I wasn't playing competitively, so whatever. Like, I didn't really care that it was breaking standard at that point. Opponent getting stuff back. Well, take up the vial. Brennan 6. More lands. Well, let's Cavern on Cleric and Luminarch Aspirant. And counter on Luminarch Aspirant and pass the turn. Alright, no killing of our stuff, no Uruing. Please no Uros. Opponent cracks and Uros. Eldraine wasn't an artifact set. That's true. I mean, there are really push broken sets that aren't artifact sets, but Wizards' track record with artifact sets is really bad. Like, really bad. If you look at, what do you consider artifact sets? If you go back to Urza's block, broken, like historically broken, then you have, let's put this Give Reference into play. Then after that you have Mirrodin, insanely broken. Then you had our Return to Mirrodin, Scars of Mirrodin, also insanely broken. Then you had Kaladesh, also insanely broken. So we just had, I mean, artifact sets have a very high hit rate for being broken and bannable. Hey, what's up, Made for Luck? Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Was Scars of Mirrodin broken? So Scars of Mirrodin itself wasn't broken, but I think that Batterskull and Swords combined with a Stoneforge and Jace is what led to boy, we were flooding out a lot. But Batterskull and Swords to go along with the Callblade stuff ended up doing some pretty busted things. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can't really kill the Renin 6, so hit our opponent. Renin 6 is a good card. Antiquities had Tron and Chops, most broken lands in the set. Yeah, Antiquities, the early years are weird. Uro number 2 for our opponent. Scars was also in a high power era. Yeah, I guess it was to some extent. Uro number 2, draws a card, gains some life in the graveyard, plays another land. Oh, Uro. My Christmas wish is for Uro to be erased from Magic. Please, Magic gods. Or Santa Claus. I feel like Uro is just not good for any format. Although, I could deal with it in Modern. I don't like it in Modern. I can deal with it better than in Historic. In Historic, joy. Yay. So many Uros. I know, I even got to spoil it, and I still would vote for it disappearing if I had it. Oh my god, Uro 3. Okay. How do we beat an opponent who has effectively doubled their mana and cast 3 Uros and gained 9 life and got 3 lands back from their... Like, what do you do about this? How do you stop? How do you stop it? Well... Selfless Spirit, untap. Please no more lands. We draw. CoCo would be good. Conclave Mentor. Well, put Mentor into play. Play Horizon Canopy. Go to combat. Counter on Selfless Spirit. Yeah, I mean, I guess we kill Wrenn in 6. There's a lot of damage going at this Wrenn in 6, but it's going to start sniping down our stuff if we're not careful. Well, alright, can we beat an Uro or 3? Do you think Uro would be balanced if it didn't gain life? I mean, it would be more balanced, but I don't think that would necessarily be enough to make it balanced. Like, 3-mana Explore into 4-mana Explore is still really... That's still really good. I mean, the life definitely helps. The life makes it so Uro doesn't have any weaknesses. It helps stabilize you. Like, our opponent... Like, look at how different this game would be without the life gain. Our opponent's Uro'd 4 times now. So our opponent would have been at 9 from our attacks and from losing life to their mana base. But instead, they're at 21. Purely thanks to Infinite Uros of A Spotless Mind. Or have you been enjoying Cube? Yeah, Cube is definitely fun. I also enjoy Cube. We'll see. We'll see if we get a chance to Cube tonight. If not, I promise we will Cube next week. Probably Monday or Tuesday, maybe both. People, I was surprised. Like, normally people like Constructed, so I was surprised how many people voted for Cube today when I did a Twitter poll on it. All right, opponent fetches, gets a land. Well, Aspirant. Go to combat. Counter on Selfless Spirit. Counter on Luminarch Aspirant. Staying out of Wrenn in 6 range, hopefully. I mean, we're growing a board, but our opponent just has so much life gain from these Uros. Hit our opponent. I mean, our deck is functioning. The Clerics are doing Cleric-y things. Yeah, we're going to have real Cube soon, which is exciting. Isn't it gone after this weekend? Opponent has Teferi Time Raveler. Okay. To bounce the Giver of Runes. Well, I guess we protect from blue. Hey, yeah. Opponent. Uro. I actually don't know what the arena schedule is. Are they taking it down this weekend? I mean, I know Magic Online has Holiday Cube going through the whole holiday season. Magic Online, the real Cube, starts next week. They have this weird one where you can draft infinite Black Lotuses going on right now. But I just assumed that Arena would leave it up for a while. So out of the Kaldheim cards, I mean, it's not really infinite, but it is it's a format where you get a new pack each time. I can't remember what they call it. Supreme Draft, maybe? We did one draft, not of Cube, but we did one draft of, like, Ravnica Block or something a while ago when they first created this format. So it's like, you pick 2 cards out of each pack, and each pack is a new pack that no one else has touched. So I've definitely seen people post pictures of draft decks where they have 4 Black Lotuses and, like, 8 total Moxid and just, like, ridiculous stuff. There's the zombies. Yeah, I mean, boy, I think we might have been Uro'd. I think that might be the bottom line here. Opponent passes. Well, we will sack Silent Clearing. Draw even more lands. We've also flooded out pretty heavily. Well, Vial, leave it. And Tabarax. Well, Cavern on Cleric. play a Tabarax. There's play a Giver of Runes. Go to combat. Lifelink as long as it has 5 or more counters. Alright, so counters on Conclave Mentor and Luminarch Aspirant. Opponent has an Ether Gust. Alright. Well, one counter and one counter. Main deck Ether Gust. Well, I mean, I guess when you get to draw half your deck, you can play whatever you want. Hit Jace. What do we do here? Like, do we go after our opponent? Can we win if we leave the Planeswalkers out? Can we win if we don't attack our opponent here and kill the Planeswalkers? Like, none of this is good, because our opponent's drawing extra cards, gaining extra life every single turn, and now also making zombies. If we leave Teferi up, then we open up instant speed Wrath, which is not great. I mean, I think we have to kill Jace. I'm also a little worried that our opponent put a Terminus on the top of their deck, which would be devastating. Well, alright. I mean, our opponent just brainstormed, and they're making zombies, and they have 11 lands, and they have Uro, so I do not feel good about where we're at about it. Renin 6. Ticks up to Fairy. Gets back a fetch land to make multiple zombies. Hi. This deck is just like every mythic. It's 2020.deck. It is 2020.deck. It is just like all the broken cards. All the broken cards, stick them together. Yeah, opponent gets it, hits us, gains some life, draws some cards. I think technically we've killed our opponent by now, but they've gained. Is it up to 18 now? 21? Yoda Man! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you. Hey! Well, at least they have some old mistakes, too. It's not just all 2020 mistakes. Oh, they definitely have instant speed Wrath, and we definitely are going to concede. Opponent gets to... Or it's just cryptic chaining into Mystic Sanctuary. Oh, my goodness. Oh, all right. Well, what do we find? Vile stays on 2. Cleric of Life's Bond, not especially helpful, but sure. I mean, I think this is either we like attack and win here or this game's over, so we'll see. Opponent. I mean, the problem is we still don't have lethal because they've made infinite zombies. So like even after all this, we're still not especially close to lethal. 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, we got to go for it. We don't have any choice. Okay, here it is. Cryptic. And Scoop. Woo! I think my Christmas wish would be for delete Eldraine. I mean, Eldraine has already been mostly deleted. Well, what do you do against just a handful of busted cards? Our sideboard does not... I mean, I guess Arbiter tax fetch lands? That's probably better than Fiend Hunter, which seems pretty useless. Well, I mean, Fiend Hunter is hard removal. I don't know if it's good hard removal, but it is removal. Remorseful Cleric for Uro. I don't know. I kind of feel like trying to fight the graveyard is a very losing battle against Uro decks, especially with things like Remorseful Cleric. Like, if you have static Rest in Peace or something, but it feels very difficult to actually stop an Uro with a Remorseful Cleric in a way that's valuable. I mean, I honestly think there's no way we're going to win the long game. I mean, our opponent's got Teferi and Ren and 6 and Teferi and Uro and Cryptic and presumably looping Cryptic with Mystic Sanctuary. I don't think there's any way we win a long fair game. I think the way we could potentially win is just being very aggressive and trying to kill our opponent before they get to the late game. Also, last game we did draw like 10 lands or something, which definitely didn't help. That we were just like flooding out while our opponent was flooding onto fairies. What do you think about the new Golgari Legend? I think it's pretty sweet. I think it's a powerful card. It is a card that doesn't do anything immediately. So that is a concern. That it is one of those cards that, yes, and it's very powerful, but it does need to sit out. Thankfully, it's only 3 mana, which does help matters. Oh, boy. Our 1-drop off the top on turn 2. Not the best time. Not the best time for the giver. Well, we will name Cleric. Skeleton? Pass the turn. About it. Flooded Strand, about it passes. And kills our stuff. Well, Horizon Canopy. Giver of Runes. Luminarch Aspirant. And counter on the Aspirant. My opponent whiffed on 3 Muxuses this morning. 1 full whiff, 1 hit a Skirk Prospector or Chieftain, 3rd one hit a Goblin. That is amazingly unlucky. I don't know. I mean, maybe if they were playing a very misbuilt Goblin deck, it could be possible, but wow, that seems very unlikely. All right, opponent's pouring on the removal. Well, get a Black Source, pass the turn. About it. Land tapped. Passes. Well, 1, 2, 3. Play Tabarax. Ouch. Ether Vial. Pass the turn. I mean, we got Clerics. We got Clerics. Christopher, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, opponent representing Cryptic. Dig up the Vial. More lands. Well, go to combat. Attack ya. Hit ya. Unclaimed territory. Cleric. Go. Not going to play into that Cryptic of our opponents. Hopefully it's not Fact or Fiction. That would be annoying. How many more do we need for his Pirate Tribal? I mean, I would have to do a search. It feels like we might be getting close. I don't know what synergy holds together these pirates, but have an 80% win rate against... That doesn't seem like it does that much. Well, I guess we got to do this now while your opponent's tapped out. CoCo. Selfless Spirit and... Cleric of Life spawned? The deck does have some sweet little synergies. The opponent bounces the giver. We pass the turn. There's a new instant deck tech tonight, Fallet. What are you playing against goblins in Best of One? Oh, with mono white. Yeah, Best of One's definitely a different animal. I think at Best of Three, Goblins is actually like, it's a top tier deck, but it's not one of the best decks, I don't think. Yeah, there's a new instant deck tech going up tonight on the YouTube, in fact, so good timing. Phyrexian Manadork, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome, Paladin. Oh, dear God. There it is. 2020 Land Part 2. Oh, this year. The year's almost over. Field of Ruin. Opponent draws their light. Oh, my God. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, I hate everything about this. Oh. And I mean, I guess that's just game. Opponent had 14 removal spells. They still have a lightning bolt in their hand. So opponent had 14 removal spells, and then they get back Uro, and they loop cryptic commands, and boy, 2020 is hard to beat. Even the lands say tutor and draw a card. 2020 was quite the year, Magic-wise, that is for sure. Opponent kills our threat. Well, we untap. But now there's an Uro. Well, we will play Metallic Mimic on Cleric. We will play Conclave Mentor, which is a Cleric. We will go to combat. Hit ya. Boom. Take 2. Oh, yeah, Desire. We talked a lot about spoilers at the start. I mean, we might talk more about them as we go along, but Left Saying Moto, will we have Momir tonight? I don't know, Jaguar. It will mostly depend. I'm not really sure. We will see. We will see how long the Cleric deck goes. If we have enough time to do any cubing. If we have enough time to do anything. So how would Momir work out? So if we finish this league and there's not enough time to cube, but enough time to get in a match of Momir, then we'll probably do a match of Momir. If this league just takes up the whole stream, then of course it took up the whole stream. If this league goes fast and we have the chance to do a cube draft today rather than waiting till next week, then we'll probably try to do a cube draft. There are 6 different aspirates, evenly split between red and that. Are any of them good? Oh boy. Alright, opponent has changed tactics. Rather than killing us with Uro, they're going to kill us with many zombies. Well, that is a super... Oh my goodness. You would have been good a turn ago before they just Our Promise for 2 Field of the Deads. Oh, so close. Oh, Cavern. Well, sack Galan, draw a card. Tabarax, Cavern. On Cleric. I wonder if a sack outlet could be somewhat beneficial in this deck. Like, a sack outlet would allow us to actually grow a big Tabarax, which seems like it would have value. Down to 11, but 11 is not dead, and there's still an Uro, and every land makes zombies, and Ren and 6 gets every land. Ren and 6 for a fetch land. Ooh. Tripod would be interesting. What was your question, Hirsch? I actually think I missed it. Would you do a duo stream with a new streamer if paid? I don't know. I've never actually gotten paid to do a stream, so I guess I'd have to think about it. Opponent, well, I mean, no reason not to do this. I don't know if it really changes things because our opponent has so much mana, but got him with the cat. Opponent's gonna pay to make the zombies. And it's a Mystic Sanctuary, of course, to, hey, Cryptic Command. Alright. Fetch lands being a tutor that make 2 zombies. Pretty powerful. Opponent. We were actually, like, kind of close this time. Uro, if they put a blue source into play off of this Uro, when we know they don't have one, if that's what they top deck, it's another Field of Ruin. Alright, so our opponent can kill all of our mana. Alright. I mean, we're actually, like, close to winning this. Opponent going to blow up one of our lands. Make more zombies. Yeah, this Cryptic is going to be what gets us, though. That's the card that we can't really beat here. So opponent passes. And Vial stays on 2. Oh, play Silent Clearing. Crack Silent Clearing. Conclave Mentor. Oh, so close. So close. But then they just Cryptic us. Ugh. Yeah, like, we sack this. Triggers Tabrax to get 3 counters. Draws us a card. Oh, almost. Like, you can see the sweet synergies of the deck, but, ugh. Mystic Sanctuary. Well, draw a card. Yeah, and, I mean, that does it. Well, we got to see the deck show its power, but it's just not quite Mystic Sanctuary lock power. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter this turn, but it matters when we untap. We can't kill our opponent this turn. We can get him to 3, and then they untap Cryptic, tap our team attack, and that's lethal. So that's the problem. That was actually sweet. More Minotaur action? Nah, you're good. You're good, Hirsch. Why, are you starting out in streaming? Opponent, Cryptic, taps, and we scoop it. Picks up Mystic Sanctuary, so they do it every turn. And, yeah. Well, I like how the deck felt. I don't like all the cards in our opponent's deck, but... I don't know about many of those cards. Couldn't you use Giver of Roots? Well, our opponent had Uro and had black creatures, so no. Like, we give protection from a color, but protection from one color doesn't let us get through any blockers there, so I don't think that actually does anything. Because they can either just block with the zombies and or block with... opponent's playing Ether Vial. So they can either block with zombies or they can block with Uro, no matter what we choose. Let's play, I guess, just a Spirant. Go to combat, start growing it. Interesting to see Luminarch Aspirant actually be a real playable card. This was my previous message. What would be the best place for me to talk to you? I have Magic History. I have a Magic History Started Games articles, decent placing, but want to move to streaming. But I want to do something to promote myself and some of my favorite Magic streamers. Well, email me, Hirsch, would probably be would probably be the best way to go. Just send me an email and we can talk on there. saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Well, let's play Conclave Mentor. Keep growing the dorks. Ooh, they actually have a 1-drop. They do. Alright, so that's gonna let our opponent stay alive. I mean, we could have tapped Get Rid of Runes, but I don't think it's worth it. Pass the turn. Hey, what's up, dog? How are you? Yeah, Spirits. Haven't seen Spirits in a while. Spirits used to be, like, top-tier deck, but they've definitely fallen off. Opponent vials in a Supreme Phantom. The amount of flying in our opponent's deck is a bit worrisome. Goes attacking. Hits us. Down to 14. And the amount of damage our mana base might deal. Well, unclaimed territory on Cleric. And I think our opponent... Oh, Spellcaller gets us either way, doesn't it? Ugh. Well, I guess we hope they don't have it here. And they do have it here. Does this mean we're immediately dead? Shackle Guy's doing a bit of work. I'll go to combat, grow our dorks. So we can attack, but not for lethal. Opponent can tap down our stuff. Hit ya. Well, down to 14. Canonic, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big stream for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Christmas list, delete the reserve list. That would be sweet. Bring back Paper Magic. Please add to cut new 2021 MTG products by about a third compared to 2020 releases. Well, I don't expect that one to happen. I would be absolutely shocked if we saw less products next year than this year, but... Opponent, Self-a Spirit. Oh, the Shacklegeist has been really insane. Oh, wow, what a hand. Oh, what a hand. And this is lethal. 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. Well, that was what you want. 3 lands, the Vial, and 9 Spirit. 1, 2, 3, 8 Spirits, whatever it is. That's impressive turn 4. Like, our opponent somehow had that many Spirits on the battlefield on turn 4. More products. I'm not even opening any right now would be a travesty. I don't expect the product trade to slow down. I don't even expect it to slow down a little. I expect that we just keep seeing more and more, would be my guess. Well, we can bring in more Fiend Hunters, I guess. Run it like that. We did talk about the Legendary Wolf a bit at the beginning of the stream. The Legendary Wolf, I think it's... I like it. I think there's a bit of a concern that it... So you get a 3/3 for 3, which is fine. It has potential to grow a lot, especially in a format like Commander, where you have a bunch of opponents. So that might end up being the best home for it. Opponent does have Ether Vial again. Well, Razorverse Thicket, and we will Cleric of Lifespawn. Go. Maybe that's the difference. Our opponent has had the Vial both games, and we have not had the Vial either game. So our opponent's just been able to play 2 things a turn when we play 1. Plus, flyers are hard for our deck to block. You can see our creatures are big enough to fight on the ground, but that doesn't do much if our opponent's stuff's all in the air. Yeah, the showcase frame for Kaldheim looks spectacular. Opponent runs out of Self-a Spirit, passes, well, unclaimed territory on Cleric. Play a Conclave Mentor. Grow the Cleric. Play Giver of Runes. Hit ya. For 4. Well, down to 15. Okay. Oh, they got the 1-drop again? Oh, all right. This looks familiar. I feel like I've seen this before. Opponent, untaps. My Christmas list is CEDH precods. What would you pay for a CDH precon, though? I think that's the question. Like, CDH decks are expensive. So I would imagine if Wizards was going to print a precon of them, it would cost a lot of money. A very, very large number of money. Oh my goodness. Whew, boy. Alright. So. Oh my goodness, these hands our opponent's been having. So we're just dead again? Is that where we're at? That's disappointing. Well, we will play a Conclave Mentor. I think we're just dead, though. Again. Play Luminarch Aspirant. Hooray. Go to combat. Grow a Mentor. Attack for 5. I do not buy Paper Magic anymore because of COVID. How is Wizards still making money? Well, people still do buy it. I mean, aren't CDH decks like $3,000 to $5,000? Like fully powered CDH decks? I thought they were like pushing vintage decks almost price-wise. Opponent. Yeah, not being able to block is tough in this matchup. Opponent with a big attack. Has another spirit. Hits us to 3. We untap. Well, play Silent Clearing. Play Selfless Spirit. Play Tabarax. We can't get enough counters on it, though, so we are again... we're again dead. We're like a point of damage short here. Well, alright. I mean, we gotta try it. I don't expect this to work. Mentor? Oh my goodness, is it gonna work? Is the protection going to get there? Clerics? Maybe? Yeah. Well, I mean, at some point you just tip your hat. Opponent had exactly the draws you want both games. 3 lands Vial, never drew another land, double path. Ouch. That was a tough one. Interesting. I mean, so far the deck has felt synergistic and good, but has not been translating into wins. My son is suggesting that you just kill the other person and don't die. That is the best Magic advice. That about sums it up. Don't you think the new pod might work even in non-tribal decks? Like going from a 1-drop, let's say a wizard, into a wizard lizard, into a lizard whatever, into a shapeshifter for passing from one type to another. I mean, so I think, is it possible? Yeah. I think it would take like it would take some interesting deck building. I'm just not sure. So I think the question would be like, what are you trying to do with the deck? Like, is there a wizard lizard at 2 mana that you actually want to play, and then a lizard merfolk or whatever, merfolk wizard at 3 mana that you want to pot into. Does it exist? It might, but it's going to take a ton of digging through cards and just looking and seeing if there's anything that works. I think it's basically that it's extremely limited. Like, Birthing Pod is easy. You got, a 2-drop, and I want to get a 3-drop, and that's going to get there, and then I want a 4-drop, and that's going to get there. The new Birthing Pod, you have this really intense extra layer of restrictions on top of it, where you need to have not only the curve right, but you need to have the creature types right, which definitely narrows the number of cards you can play in the deck. You can't just be like, I want to draw a card, so I'm going to play Muldrifter or Cloudblazer or whatever. Like, with Birthing Pod, that's simple. You're like, I need some card draw. What 5-drop draws me cards that I can sack a 4-drop into? How about Cloudblazer? Or I need to gain some life. What 5-drop does that I can sack my 4-drop into? How about Thragtusk? Building around the new one, you're going to have to go, okay, what card of this creature type draws me cards, or a card of this creature type gains me life? Does that card exist? Like, is there a merfolk lizard or whatever? Like, that obviously won't be the actual creature type, but is there a merfolk wizard of that converted mana cost in the game of Magic that does what I want? So I think it's possible that it works, but I do think it's going to be significantly more challenging to build around. And I think as you build those decks, there's going to be a lot of decks where this doesn't work. There's going to be a lot of decks where you realize some of the cards that you want just don't exist. You're going to be like, wow, I'm like 75 or 80% to having a really sweet deck. If only there was a 4-drop Lizard Wizard that had this effect, then this deck would be awesome. So maybe someday they'll print the 4-drop Lizard Wizard. But for now, I'm probably just going to have to wait. I don't think there's party in Kaldheim, but I do think we might get more party creature types. But I don't think you're going to see, if you have a full party do this or anything like that. I'd be pretty surprised if we saw those kind of synergies. Well, I guess we're going in on Taborax. That's our fastest clock, right? We're up against Ad Nauseam, so killing our opponent really quickly is going to be of the essence. Taborax. Fuzzo! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Luminargus Byrant. Put it into play. Go to combat. Well, grow the Mimic. That's our only attacker this turn. Hit you for 3. Down to 17. Do you think we'll see Walking Bliss in Historic? Said it wasn't in Kaldheim Remastered. I think if they ever printed Walking Bliss into Historic, it would immediately be banned. I think immediately it would have to be banned. Or a bunch of other stuff, like Heliod and support pieces would have to be banned. So I get why they didn't put it in the set, even though I would prefer Wizards to put Ballista into the format and just pre-ban it than not put it in the format at all, because I hope that eventually, sooner or later, over the course of time, who knows? They haven't said they're going to do this, but maybe someday they're like, hey, we made it to Pioneer. Let's keep going. Let's get to Modern, because Modern is a really popular format. So I would like to see them add those cards, even if they have to be banned in Historic, just because they may need them in the future. But yeah, so I would be surprised if Ballista was ever legal in Historic. I think with the Heliod combo being one of the best things going in formats like Modern a lot of the times, I would imagine that it would be probably not great for Historic to have to deal with that. Lizard Wizards of the Coast. I mean, considering their company name, maybe we do get the Lizard Wizard that breaks the new tripod. I mean, Spike Feeder I think is better than, with a Heliod combo in specific, not overall as a card, but with a Heliod combo in specific, I actually think Spike Feeder is the stronger of the two combo pieces. Well, I mean, in theory, we can win in 2 turns. The bad news is, in theory, our opponent can combo off this turn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, it is what it is. Don't ad nauseam us, friend. Oh, hey, what's up, Abzed Wolf? How are you? We need more lizard wizards. Opponent, is this Unlife? Alright, so that buys our opponent a meaningful amount of time. Meaning now we need 2 more turns. Vile. Leave it. Unclaimed territory. On Cleric. Is there even anything we can hit here that matters? I'm not sure that there is in our main deck. Well, CoCo. Selfless Spirit. Selfless Spirit, I guess. Get a bunch of triggers. Gain a bunch of life. That doesn't stop Thassa's Oracle, though. I mean, we're going off. It's just, it's not the kind of going off that stops ad nauseum from comboing. Hit ya. Down in the negatives. Alright, no ad nauseums. No ad nauseums, please. Have I seen the legendary wolf? Yeah, we've been talking about it a bit. Didn't answer my tweet the other morning. I guess it answered my question by that. Oh, well, I will tell you, Evergrado SG, Twitter is probably the least good way of getting in contact with me, because if you can see my Twitter, I just... One of the downsides of having a lot of people following you and so this is game. Following and interacting with you is there's just always so many notifications. Like, if I don't have Twitter going for, especially when we have spoilers and stuff, if I am not checking Twitter every 10 minutes, which I'm not, it's pretty easy to like go to a stream or record a video and come back and just have like 500 notifications, and there's just not really any way to get to them all. So if you have a question, please ask, because I would love to answer. Not trying to ignore you, just Twitter can be tough. There's so much stuff happening. Alright, so opponent draws their deck, pathway. They have multiple ways of winning the game, the easiest being Thassa's Oracle, and we will scoop it up. Ooh, Well, Canonist in. Fiend Hunter, dead card, so that's going out. Selfless Spirit's also not great. Graveyard Hate doesn't do anything. Arbiter doesn't really do anything, I don't think. Well, alright. Canonist it is. Save us, Canonist. That's not what I would meant. I wasn't trying to say, like, oh, I got a ton of followers. I was just trying to explain why Twitter is a bad way to get a hold of me. There's just... emailing me is the best way to make sure I will see your message, or coming to the stream and just like talking to me on stream. That's also a good way. I think actually YouTube comments might even be better than Twitter sometimes, even though YouTube comments are also pretty hit or miss. But yes, Twitter's just not the most ideal way, but I would love to answer your question. My 6-year-old explained to me that YouTube subscription, my 6-year-old asked me to explain YouTube subscriptions to her, thanks to virtual school, and you were the only example that really got through to her, influencing a generation. Oh, that's flattering. Well, tell your daughter I said hello, and thanks for learning about YouTube. Does that actually come up in school? Is that a class? YouTube? They teach you about YouTube subscriptions? I never learned well, I mean, I guess when I was in school, YouTube wasn't a thing. So I guess that makes sense. But is that an actual thing they do? You're kind of MVP to actually answer YouTube comments. I actually try, for the most part. Like, that is one of my goals, is to I don't think it's possible to answer every comment, especially since some YouTube comments are not exactly questions. So you're just like, wow, why are you so bad at Magic? why are you so bad at this game? Your voice doesn't match your face. Like, those are not actually questions for the most part, but I do try to answer them. Pass the turn. Hey, what's up, Dustin Nagar? How are you? About it. Keeps on scrying. No, you're good, Timmy. You're good. I'm just messing around. About it. Omulus, I think that's like a real actual YouTube comment. Although I actually I don't know. I enjoy it. I actually do. I even enjoy like my technique, and I will tell you this, if you ever decide to do stuff on the internet, my technique for dealing with people, and this is actually my technique for dealing with people like this in life too, but if people are being salty or being toxic or being over the top, in my experience, the best way to handle those people is to do the opposite of what a lot of people do, which is a lot of people, you see the toxic comment or you see the over the top like mean comment or the whatever, and your natural instinct is, okay, this wasn't a nice comment. I'm going to let this person know they're such a jerk. Maybe I'll like respond to them. Maybe I'll, post about it on my Twitter or my Facebook or whatever. If you do it the other way and you go out of your way to respond kindly, it almost always diffuses the situation, and it makes it really, really hard for it to keep going. Like, killing with kindness is exactly, like, especially with a little humor thrown in. Like, if you can answer in a way that is kind but also humorous, that is what I have always tried to do when dealing with mean internet comments like that, and it has served me well. What does Elves need in Modern to be competitive again? The new Shapeshifter, Changeling, seems really good for Elves in Modern, but I think the biggest issue is just probably the unfairness of the format, combined with the printing of stuff like Lava Dart. I think Lava Dart really hurt Elves. Lava Dart's like a wrath almost, but just killing any 2 X1s against Elves is really, really good. So I think the new Changeling helps. Whether or not that brings Elves into top tier status, that still remains to be seen. I feel like you might be approaching Mr. Rogers' level of kindness. I don't know about that, but if I am, I would be fine with that. I think treating people kindly is something I strive for, so Hitchia? This is going much better. I mean, our opponent's on 2 lands, and sideboarded in a way that doesn't seem like they can answer this Usher Sworn Canonist very easily. Sure. This looks like Peek and Scoop. The old Peek and Scoop. Can you be mean? Very rarely. I mean, the thing is, like, that's also just, if you talk to like friends or family or people in real life, I think they would probably say the same thing about me. So it's not so much like, I don't know, an internet act or an internet persona or something. Like, that's just kind of my personality. I just really believe in trying to treat people kindly, and that's what we should do, and that it makes the world better, a better place for everyone. Like, you only got so many years on Earth. I really don't understand why you would want to spend that time. All right, opponent stays alive. I really don't understand why you'd want to spend that time being mean to other people, which then makes you feel crappy. Like, if you're only going to be on Earth for, X number of years, like, why? Why do you want to go around all day, like, being angry and being pissed off and, like, feeling like that? It's not a great way to feel, like, and if you're acting like that to other people, that brings you down as well. So even though it is like altruistic to some extent, it also, I think, makes you feel better if you treat people that way. So it's not purely altruistic. It's also like, better for you in the long run as well. At least that's kind of my belief. Untap Ether Vial. If we end up losing this, I'm going to cry. We have 2 Etherswork Canoness. Our opponent cannot possibly combo off through this. If this ends with us dying, I'm going to be so disappointed. Angel's Grace number 2. Opponent stays at 1. Well, we will play an Ether Vial and a Razorverse Thicket and pass the turn. Opponent 3 mana. Hey, thank you, Doug McQuaid. Ooh, for how many Black Lotuses did you have? How many Black Lotuses did you have top deck time? Was it a very large number? Oh, Zacharias Academy. I do like Tabaraks. Now take out the Vial. Cavern. Cleric. Tab Father. And hit ya again. I mean, our opponent could literally win the game this turn. I guess that would show how... Well, I mean, I guess hopefully the Canoness will save us, but if it wasn't for the Canoness, our opponent could literally win the game, even after all this. Our deck's been doing it, too. Hey, what's up, Doug? How are you today? 0 Lotuses, tons of Moxen, counter mana with Mentor. Was it fun? That was on my list if we had extra time to try, but we might end up doing it Monday if we don't have the extra time. Or we might end up starting a draft and doing a bit of it and then having to finish it in the future. It sounds interesting. The name Saffron Olive, it is a combo of a few different things. Started from a neighbor I had during college that called me Saffron for no apparent reason from the very first day I moved in into the apartment complex. So from the very first day I moved in, they called me that, and my friends started calling me that. So that is what started the Saffron part. And then was in this band called Olive Drab and the Etcetras. One of the gimmicks was everyone's last name was Olive, so Saffron Olive. Then that became my name on Reddit, and that's how I met Richard, who owns Goldfish. And when I first started writing at Goldfish in the early days, it was sort of attached to Reddit. The idea is anyone could post stuff, so you could use your Reddit name there. So I just naturally ended up using my Reddit name on Goldfish, and then by the time I would have thought to change it, it was a little bit too late because people actually knew me by that name, and it seemed like a lot of time and effort to change all of it. Am I familiar with Neutral Grounds? I am familiar with Neutral Grounds. That's BDM's BDM store, although I'm from way upstate, so New York City for me is like 3 or 4 hours. So this is game, right? This is game? Our opponent draws their deck, but they can't cast a spell because of Canonist. So then don't they just die from our attack? I think. Weather's not too bad up here, actually. Honestly. It's snowy, but it's always snowy in this time of year in upstate New York, so not nearly. My brother lives in Binghamton, one of my brothers, and Binghamton got 41 inches of snow. 41, which is absurd. Like 41 inches is ridiculous. If you're not in snow territory, if you live in a place where people have like their backyard fenced in, like you literally see some of the pictures of people in Binghamton where the snow is like literally at the top of their fence. Like picture your entire backyard being just full of snow and happening in like 24-hour period, which is, yeah, I guess they were getting like 4 to 6 inches an hour at one point, which is, I don't even know if I remember another time of that heavy of snow. That is like ridiculously No, just like 41 inches from the snow falling, not like drifts, like 41 inches everywhere in the heaviest areas of Binghamton. But up here, it's maybe, yeah, we're kind of like that. There's, I don't know, less than a foot for sure, maybe. Nothing really, honestly. Like, if you live in upstate New York all the time, you just get used to the snow. So it was, I don't know, just another winter day for the most part. I'm really disappointed. I'm pretty sure, hey, Merry Christmas, Creative Gaming. I'm pretty sure that there's no snow in Kaldheim. I think we would have known about it if it was going to be in Kaldheim. So I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. I was actually like kind of hyped. This hand's fine, but it doesn't have our one card that can interact with our opponent. Ugh. Well, there's no way this works out on the draw. No chance. All right. This is possible. Tabaraks to the bottom, one Vial to the bottom, and we found a Canonist. I thought the MDFCs would be front side non-snow, backside snow. Ooh, that would be pretty sweet. Well, Thicket and Vial and go. I wonder if there's a time when we can Vial this in and kill our... oh, dear. Well, there goes our one good card. That's going to make things tough. Yeah, Cannon is down. Well, we got two more in our deck that could technically possibly be drawn. But that's our one card that actually can slow down our opponent. Oh. Alright, Luminarch Aspirant. Well, sometimes the Clerics are blessed by the magic gods. That was good timing. We will take that. So I'm seeing your post tweet early this morning. Are you an early riser and get moving, or more of a night owl? I usually get up fairly early. I would say more of an early riser at this point. It's definitely has changed over the course of the last few years. I used to be exactly the opposite, where I was definitely way more in the like stay up until 4 a.m. and then sleep until noon and live most nocturnally for the most part. But it's mostly shifted now, where I usually am more like go to bed at like 11 or midnight and am up by 6 or 7 usually. Something like that. Does the internet suck in the woods where you're located? Sort of. Yeah, so I actually, when I first started doing Goldfish full-time, which is like 4 or 5 years ago now, but when I went from part-time to full-time, I actually moved specifically because the place where I was living... They're just running this out for value? Specifically because the place where I was living had such bad internet. Okay, so Goldfish trivia fun fact. When I first started making videos, if you go back to the earliest days of Goldfish, I would literally record the videos, edit the videos, and then drive to a friend's house like 20 minutes away from where I lived and go hang out at their house for a day specifically so I could upload their videos. Because my internet was so bad that it would take hours and hours and hours, like 8 hours to upload an episode of Against the Odds. So I did that before I actually started working at Goldfish full-time. And once I knew I was going to do this like full-time and wanted to stream, I actually moved, not a super long ways away, but I moved to a place where I could get more functional internet. So my internet's not like Fios and insane and awesome or like fiber or whatever, but it's functional now, thankfully. Would you play Tribal Birthing Pod in an Elf Commander deck or some other Commander decks? So I actually really like Tribal Birthing Pod in Commander. I think it goes way up in value for me in Commander, where I would consider playing it in most, I think I would say. Most Tribal Commander decks. I think it is at the very least worth considering. Because in Commander, you're playing 100 singleton cards. So being able to find the right card at the right time goes way up in value in Commander compared to Constructed, just because of how Commander decks are built. So I think it naturally is better there. Plus, you already have tribal decks that are playing mostly a creature type, so it's easy to slot it in. So in a tribal Commander deck, I think I'm going to, for now, consider it close to an auto include. I mean, obviously, it depends on the tribe. ETB triggers, death triggers. Probably not every single tribal commander deck is going to want it, but I actually think a lot of them are going to. Hans cosplay is on my list. I've actually talked a little bit to some of the cosplayers on Twitter, like the Big Magic cosplayers, and I think that that some of them are going to help me out as far as, like, I don't even know where to, like, get the stuff to do a costume or where to buy a costume or anything like that. So, but that is on my list. By the time we get to start doing paper Magic events again, I am definitely hoping that we will have Hans cosplay going, which is going to be super sweet. I am excited for it. I think it'll look really cool. How badly do you think all the Changeling cards will spike due to Changelings coming back? So here's the thing about Changelings. Most of them are pretty bad. I think, honestly, this is going to be really interesting. Can this Canonist save us? Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be so interesting. Opponent. Echoing Truth. Oh. Jeez, it's not going to do it. I don't even know if they have Lightning Storm in their deck. Lightning Storm has really fallen off. I mean, often it's still a one of that gets sideboarded out. The problem is Echoing Truth. Like, that is the issue. So we know our opponent has this removal spell. So if we Violin Canonist, like, they play Oracle and win. Otherwise, they have the one Echoing Truth. So if we Violin Canonist, our opponent is Echoing Truth, Thassa's Oracles, and wins. Giver is cast last turn and summoning 6, so it does not actually protect anything. I mean, they have like a million sources of blue. Yeah, if Giver was unsummoning sick, it would work. Maybe we should have cast it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, we could have cast it, but then our opponent knows what's up, and then they just play in a way to play around it, is the issue. Like, they don't have to play in a way that they're going to die. I mean, the problem is there's no mistake to make. Like, if they just untap and cast Thassa's Oracle, they win. And that's a pretty obvious line. So if we don't do anything, they just cast Thassa's Oracle and that's game. Yeah. So there's no... But if we do something, then they Echoing Truth Thassa's Oracle game. Jeez Louise. Yeah, the problem is they don't need to cast anything else. Like, all they gotta do is cast the Thassa's Oracle. That is it. But Violent Response doesn't do anything because that Thassa's Oracle enters the battlefield. They don't need to cast a spell, though. So stopping them from casting spells with the lethal spell of the stack does not actually benefit us. This is so strange. I really like how this deck feels. Like, even though the record's been bad, it has felt really good and functional, essentially in all of our games. What was your message earlier, the Hirsch? Why no Pioneer lately? Last time I asked chat, MB for spamming, Seth missed doing Pioneer. Just missed Seth doing Pioneer. So I think it's been a combination of things. One is, I mean, so there's three-ish reasons. So reason one is the format being so bad for so long just got me in the habit of not playing it. And even though they eventually, way too late, ended up banning the broken combo stuff, it took so long that I got used to playing Historic and started enjoying it. When I didn't play Historic at all before, like, I would always play Pioneer over Historic, but then because Pioneer was so bad for so long, I started playing Historic, kind of acquired a taste for Historic, and now even though Pioneer's improved, I just find that I tend to play Historic or whatever. So that's kind of like been one of the reasons. Another reason is it's become increasingly hard to actually like record Pioneer. There's just hardly anyone who plays. I looked at the leagues on Moto the other day. I think that Modern was 1,200 or something, which is a pretty solid number in a league. Pioneer was like 100 something. It was like down below Pauper, down below Legacy. So you actually get in a position where if you try to record it, you just get stuck. Quite often you can get stuck waiting for a long time to actually find a game. And then, so that's another reason. And because people are interested in Pioneer right now, people haven't really been watching Pioneer. So that has been the other reason, is when I do think about recording Pioneer, I kind of just don't anyway, because people don't seem interested in watching it. So it's kind of like this negative cycle that's going on, where because not many people seem to care about watching Pioneer, I don't make it a priority to record Pioneer, but then maybe because I don't make it a priority to record Pioneer, that people don't care as much about watching Pioneer, so it just kind of like spirals in that direction. I think you should face cap for all your YouTube videos, really like it, Bieber Dream videos. Yeah, I mean, I think the one challenge is just like, the only reason I haven't started doing it for all the videos is mostly just being on and on camera for that many hours a week. When you add in like streams to all the YouTube videos, I mean, I guess that maybe is just laziness. When there's no camera, it's a little bit easier. You can just kind of like, I don't know, at some points, if you're a little tired or maybe you just woke up and you're not, looking your sharpest, you could still record a gameplay video. If no one can see you. But once the camera's on, then you actually got to be, looking at least a little bit on top of it. Awesome with Zabe! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Oh, no. I was a little excited about all the mulliganing, but it was the Tron trap. Our opponent tricking us into thinking that their mulliganing was a good thing, when actually it was just them finding Tron for turn 3 with Karn. Do you consider Historic a real format? Do you think that it'll ever come to LGSs? Thanks for the 3 months. Well, awesome, Wasim. Thank you for the sub and for the question. I do consider Historic a real format, but I do not think, at least in its current form, it will ever come to. Ooh, all right, so they're gonna have Tron. Well, I guess the question is gonna be, what do they have to go with it? I'll play it on Cleric. Play a Clerical Lifespawn. Yeah, we might be a little slow here. Go to combat, hit ya. But I don't think it really can come to paper, because the problem with paper is you can't really have the, like, oh, we're just adding 20 random cards thing. Like, that's kind of the issue. It kind of works on Arena, because Arena economy is already, like, pretty messed up. So it's not a big deal, but in paper, you can't be like, oh, buy this $1,000 Euro deck because it's Sultai mid-range, it's the best deck, buy this Sultai Euro deck, that's a top tier deck, you gotta have it to play in tournaments, and then have it be like, oh, we just like printed this anthologies that invalidates your investment. So I think the way that Historic is structured, it's definitely structured to be a digital format rather than a paper format, and I would guess that will mean it is unlikely to end up coming to paper unless they decide to get rid of all that stuff, which I don't think they will. Like, I like that they can do that stuff and be like, hey, we had this tournament, it's clear something's busted, it's suspended as of today, or it's suspended and then it gets unsuspended a week later. Like, that's a lot of stuff that Alright, spin it to... So if we do this, we have to hit a Selfless Spirit. There's 3 in our deck. We have 50 cards. We have 6 cards deep. Odds are not in favor of it. Odds are not in favor. Do we do it or do we not do it? Otherwise, we just did nothing this entire turn, and then we gotta pass our next entire turn? Doing nothing is so bad, though. All right, be good, be good. We're clerics. We are pious and holy, and the magic god should reward us with a selfless spirit here off this CoCo to save us. Jeez. Well, all right. Those cards are not what we were looking for, and now we're in double trouble. I still think we got to do it, though. If we don't do it and we just pass, you can't just keep passing against Tron. Like, they win. They win the long game. They have, 10 mana and you have 4. Then we go to combat. We attack. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this isn't even technically lethal. Oh, so our opponent can technically not Oblivion Stone this turn and go to 1. Stusho! Welcome to the fishbowl. Well, I mean, the problem with casting a spear from the hand is they can just blow it with the trigger on the stack, so it doesn't actually do it there, unfortunately. Well, we will play a Conclave Mentor. Conclave Mentor, Cleric of Lifespawn, and Stusho, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that we... So the problem is, if we don't cast Collected Company there... Well, opponents just got the win anyway. Sure. So nothing that we were going to do, actually, would make a difference to how this game played out, unfortunately. But so the problem is, let's say we don't collect a company there. The problem with not collecting company there, if we don't collect a company, we have 5 power on the battlefield. Our opponent's at 13. Our opponent could just be like, sure, hit us for 5 down to 8. Then what do we do? If we go to cast anything, our opponent's gonna blow the Oblivion Stone anyway. But I mean, I guess all this, we have Fiend Hunter. Oh, Fiend Hunter to get rid of. Yeah, but we lose all of our permanents, and our opponent still has Tron, so they still have have 10 mana a turn. So I don't think it actually saves us by any stretch of our imagination, unfortunately. Hey, thanks, Leak of Magic. Well, Selfless Spirit, it would have been good against exactly the Oblivion Stone, but ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation, but I feel like with our opponent having access to Tron, if we don't do anything, we just fall further and further behind and give our opponent more and more time to draw into a finisher. But although, with how it ended up being, it looked like our opponent just had the finisher the whole time, so it probably didn't really matter what we did there with what our opponent ended up having in hand anyway. Well, either way will go. Opponent, Expedition Map. Looks like a turn 3 Tron hand. Opponent kept 7, so it's obviously a turn 3 Tron hand. I'll take up the Vial. Silent Clearing. Metallic Mimic on Cleric. Go. Opponent. Passes, so they do have Tron. Yeah, well, that's not good. Silent Clearing, Giver of Rudes. Luminarch Aspirant. Luminarch Aspirant. I mean, well, now we hope they don't have anything. Oh. 6 Tron lands in hand. One time. 6 Tron lands in hand. Yeah, I mean, the sideboard, the entire deck is one that someone 5-0'd with, so I did not build the sideboard. I'm sure it could probably use work. I don't know if it's necessary. So the problem is, the deck's doing something that I think is a little bit risky, which is Aether Vial and Collected Company. If you play Aether Vial and Collected Company, you essentially lose the ability to play anything else. You have to just play, the rest of your deck has to be exclusively creatures. Because if it's not exclusively creatures, then both your Aether Vials and your Collected Companies are weak, and they make your entire deck weak. So that's kind of the challenge. So, but both Collected Company and Aether Vial do seem good in the deck, but the cost is you just don't have room for utility spells. So you can't take an, like, play 4 Rest in Pieces, because you would have to cut Clerics to bring them in, then you only have 25 creatures or 24 creatures, then your Collected Company is with, and your Vials are not doing enough. So there's, like, some weird deck building tension if you're going to try to play Collected Company and also Aether Vial. Boy. Opponent charges up the Blast Zone. I mean, Blast Zone by itself doesn't do it, though, because we have this Giver of Runes, which is 4 power. So blow up all the 2-drops. Mom Jr. is going to get you. I was about to ask, isn't either Vial or CoCo not okay? Shouldn't you choose one over another, since Vial benefits lower CMC, CoCo from higher CMC? In general, yes. Like, in general, I don't especially like decks with both. I think typically it's not a good idea. In this deck, I'm actually not sure which would be better. So the other upside of getting rid of Aether Vial and or Collected Company is then you would have 4 more utility slots. It would also theoretically free up the sideboard so you could play some real cards and not just all Fiend Hunters and stuff. The other thing is there enough of a payoff to be Clerics? Like, that, I think that's the other question. Like, sure, we have Fiend Hunter. It's a Cleric. Fiend Hunter is just, like, really, really bad Skyclave apparition. Is, I guess, Cleric of Life's Bond, Metallic Mimic, and I guess to some extent Tabarak very, very slightly. Is that a good enough reason to play the way, way worse Fiend Hunter over the way, way better Skyclave apparition? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, against combo we got the Canonist, which is helpful, but definitely not game over. Well, run it back. I mean, the deck has felt like it has functioned pretty smoothly. I've been impressed with just how the deck has ran in general, But it does feel like it's maybe just, I don't know, half a turn slow, a couple turns slow against fast combo decks. We don't have anything that's good against Tron, right? We're just casting stuff and hoping. I mean, this can build a big board pretty quickly. I wish we had Ether Vial, but a quick reminder before we get to our next game here that our sponsor this evening is Card Kingdom, and maybe need some Magic cards. You can get them over at cardkingdom.com. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the stream tonight. About it passes. Well, Cavern on Cleric and Goo. Yeah, that's where Ether Vial is very helpful. Ether Vial makes the 2-drops a lot smoother. So maybe Ether Vial's the way to go. It's kind of a human stack with Champion Lieutenant effects, but no Kai'Sail Meddling Mage. That's probably not the worst comparison. Kind of like humans that doesn't have Disruption. What? Oh, the saddest time to draw the Vial. Vial would have been so sweet with this hand, too. Such a good Vial hand, but, well, Mimic on Cleric. Go. No Tron? No Tron? No Tron, please. Okay. Well. And good times were had by all. So that's a Worm Coil. I guess it's unfortunate that they sniped the power plant there. I'll play the land. Play Cleric of Life's Bond. And Ether Vial. And go. But that's a Worm Coil. I mean, there isn't really... Clerics have, like, some synergies. Like this Cleric of Life's Bond. Yeah. Alright. Alrighty then. Turn 3 Tron doing what it does. Yeah, and that might be the other thing. That maybe this is... Maybe Clerics is a tribe, much like we've seen in Standard. Maybe they just need more support. Maybe they're really just not to the point yet. And we gotta wait for the D&D set or more Clerics to show up. I feel like there's good 4-color Clerics that we're missing out on. Well, we'll take a look after we give this deck one last chance to actually win a match. I will say, like, we've had some decks that go, 1-4-0-5, and they just feel awful. I don't feel like this deck has felt awful. It has felt good. It's just been, something's not quite there. Maybe the tribe's not quite good enough. Maybe it's a little too slow. Maybe there's not enough payoffs. Maybe it's Vial with Collecting Company. But it hasn't been one of those decks where it's just like, oh my god, this is the most miserable thing I've ever done. It's not functional. It's been functional. It's just not been enough to get over the hump against very powerful streamlined modern decks. That might be, I think that's the biggest thing the tribe is lacking compared to like humans is humans, you have good payoffs and you're very disruptive with your meddling mages and Kai'Sail freebooters and a million good human sideboard cards. So you get the disruption to go along with even better payoffs. Clerics don't have as good of disruption and don't have as good of payoffs. Although it does have some sweet +1/+1 counter synergies. Vials for relics? Relic of Progenitus? We haven't run into too many, like, degenerate graveyard decks. I guess we played against I will also say that this has happened like 3 times this league, which is brutal. Yeah, okay. We've also been very good at top decking Ether Vial on turn 2. An opponent, Force of Negations, okay. Untaps. Cleric Relic. I think Cleric Relic is probably a lot too slow for Modern. It's just 3 mana and it doesn't do anything unless something dies, right? Yeah. And we don't really have sacrifice outlets. I mean, I guess Selfless Spirit sacrifices itself, but we don't really have sacrifice outlets, so... Cleric on, play a Conclave Mentor. Pass the turn. Opponent. Well, we'll see if they have a Jace or Teferi or something. If they do, then we're in a lot of trouble. If not, then we're not in the worst of shape. Opponent. Oh, boy. Okay. So, well, now we're in a lot of trouble. Jace, bounce. Opponent gets in with the Snapcaster, hits us. Well, play Unclaimed Territory on Cleric. Play Conclave Mentor. Play Selfless Spirit. Pass the turn, but now opponent gets to Brainstorm and refuel. Isn't Frontline Medic good? Is Frontline Medic the 3-drop that makes your creatures indestructible when you attack? I remember it seeing play in Standard. I don't know about Modern. I'm guessing that the way this deck could 5-0 would be run into matchups where Auriok Champion is good. Because Auriok Champion is a card that can like legitimately beat decks on its own. So we've played like Uro, blue-white control, combo. If you ran into a bunch of like Death Shadow, burn, then I think you would probably be in really good shape. So I think that maybe we have also not hit the best matchups. Like Spirits flies over us, 2 Planeswalker, Mythic Tribal style decks with tons of answers, and then a couple of Oh, jeez. Yeah, I gotta... Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. It's getting worse by the second. Well, okay. We will play Tabarax, our opponent will blow the explosives and kill everything, and they still have a Jace. Yes, Jace is never gonna go away. Opponent. Well, they should just blow the explosives now. Yeah, I mean, I guess would counter the engineer explosives. There's not like what X spells are there that we'd be trying to counter in Modern? Is there really anything that it would hit on? I can't wait to Windmill Slam whatever Vampire Dragon is in. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. That was unexpected. Well, attack Jace, attack Jace. Opponent blocks. Well, okay. Draw a card. Grow Tabarax. Collecting Company. Alright, well, we got a board. You got a Jace, but we have a Tabarax. Tabarax might just be better than Jace. We'll see. Opponent. What do they find? What do they find? Brainstorms for the 3rd time-ish? It's a lot of filtering. A lot of filtering. I think Cleric needs a few more Lords, alternate win cons beside attacking. Example, direct life loss. Yeah, that could be sweet. Is Leyline of Punishment so bad? I don't know if I'd say it's so bad. I don't think it's great by any stretch. Are we snapping for Batter Skull? Sword. So Leyline of Punishment is a card that I was more excited about. Yeah, I guess the Batterer Skull. It was a card I was more excited about back before we got other options. We keep getting like Rampaging for Osidon. We got the new Battle for Zendikar one. So I think it's not so much that Leyline of Punishment is bad, but there's just other, mostly better ways to do the same thing now. Which is why it doesn't see play. But I definitely remember playing Budget Burn a few years. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, apparently we're never going to be able to kill this Jace. Just not happening. Alright, no Wrath Protection. I mean, we're building a board. We are building a board, but Cryptics for days. Cryptics for days. Kaya Tribal. Well, now that we get the new Kaya, it might finally be time. Boy, we're just getting drowned in Jace value here. Just, opponents played the defend Jace game plan, and it has worked. How have the matches been? Well, they have not been winning, but the deck has felt functional. And like it's like almost close to being good, but another Stoneforge to shuffle. And get a Sword of Feast and Famine. It's actually pretty good against our colors. Opponent Thought Seizes. Well, it looks like we're finally going to get to kill the Jace. The question is, does it even matter? Or is it just too late because there's going to be a sword on a Batterer Skull? Like, does killing Jace even do anything? CoCo's interesting. I'll go to combat. So Batterer Skull's coming into play. Well, kill Jace finally after 4 brainstorms. Oh. Attack, attack. Jace finally goes away. Well, all right, here comes the equipment. Batterer Skull, sword, etc. What are you trying to figure out, Hirsch? If you want to try to set something up, Hirsch, just send me an email and tell me what you're thinking. No promises, of course, but definitely send me an email. Let me know what you're thinking. We'll go from there. So yeah, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com would be the thing to do. Well, we'll see. Opponent. I'm gonna put the sword into play. We can't block. Boy, actually hitting a Fiend Hunter would probably win us this game. That would be very good. Well, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. CoCo. Well, Metallic Mimic. And well, I guess we gotta go Giver of Runes. Giver with Metallic Mimic can at least block for a while. That might be our current game plan. I'll gain some life. Grow the Dork up to an 8/8. All right. Well, opponent, gonna go to combat. Gonna attack. Yeah, the Giver block plan is our main plan here. Block with Little Mimic. Oh, the colorlessness of Mimic keeping us alive. Oh, let me see, JK. Reflector? Yeah, we'll look at what other clerics exist after he finishes match. Unclaimed territory. Opponent passes. I'll play Silent Clearing. Play another Conclave Mentor. Keep growing our dorks. Get in with Tabarax. I mean, we have an 11/11 Cleric of Lifespot, which is insane. Opponent, down to 5. Oh, so close. Come on. Are we going to win a game where Jace Brainstorm 4 times? Ooh, let me see, Doug. I mean, we have Fiend Hunter, so it is a removal cleric. It's just kind of low tier removal cleric, I would say. Not one of the best one. Oh, Riley's such a fun commander. That looks super sweet, Doug. Hull Breacher. 4-color Adventure Shift. Ooh. I have not seen a spell shift deck ever in a long time, at least. Counter target instant or sorcery spells. Controller reveals cards until they reveal an instant or sorcery. You can pay that card. That's pretty cute. Opponent. Another cryptic command. All right. The Song That Never Ends. Summon Cryptics, taps our team. Untaps all their lands, draws a card. Ops. Oh, come on, Magic Gods, to the bottom. Oh, no. Me and my brother recently had a debate about if Amass was better than Party. What's your opinion on the matter? I mean, Amass I don't think was ever very good at all. Like, Amass was just not a very good mechanic, period. I think I would not be surprised if Party ended up being very good in the future. Once we get more sets. I don't think it's there yet, obviously. But I would not be even a little bit surprised if it ended up being very good. Well, let us play a Selfless Spirit. An opponent scoops it up. This might be the time. It might be the time for the Clerics to get the win. What do you think about Changelings coming back? Like, what is your overall... Hey, thank you for the cheer, Firebird. We are Clericing, CoCo Clericing at the moment. Party, I think, will be good eventually. Once, I mean, it might be good soon thanks to Changelings. What do you think about Changelings coming back to Standard? For some reason, I was thinking that Changelings were one of the never return to Standard mechanics. Like, I actually thought they were on the pretty high on the Storm scale, but apparently not. Fixed Birthing Pod. I think Fixed Birthing Pod is fun. I don't expect it to be, like, super competitive. I think there could be some tribal decks that'll take advantage of it, but I don't actually think that... Yeah, I think that Pyre is very fixed. I think the tribal restriction, I think, is a big deal. I think that significantly cuts back on its potential. Part of the power of Birthing Pod is you can play it in, like, almost any deck that had a reasonable curve. You didn't have to pay attention to your curve. I think there's a contact tab there, so I would just use the email Hirsch, and send me email. Changeling has generally been 5/6, so I guess 5/6 isn't that ridiculously poor. All right, run it like that. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think a lot of people I kind of feel like are immediately overrating Harvest Pyre. I feel like Harvest Pyre is a card that, when we were talking about it last stream, when it first came out, yeah, sure, Icarus. Pen Pale away. I would love a Pen Pale. Well, there goes our Vial, I assume. When we were talking about it before, people were saying, like, oh, you can play it in humans. Oh, you can play it in, like, merfolk. And I really don't think that's going to be good. Because you got to think, remember, you do have to sack a creature. Yeah, Pyre of Heroes. Remember, you got to sack a creature. And a deck like humans, or a deck like merfolk, is it really worth it to sack a lord to get another lord? I don't think so. Or sack those decks are built around a critical mass of creatures of their card type. Like, that's kind of what makes a deck like Merfolk work. It's not like you have one super important big Merfolk. You just play a whole bunch of redundant Merfolk. And humans is kind of similar to that. So I think that the shells that it will actually fit in are maybe a tiny bit narrower than people are giving it credit for at this point. Not that they don't exist, because I think that there will be decks that can take advantage of it, or I hope that there will at least, and it'll probably be really good in those decks. And I'm much more hyped for it in Standard now that we've seen Changelings. Changelings changes the equation as far as Standard goes quite a bit, I think. I think that it makes it way easier to actually pull off in Standard. I'm still surprised about Changelings. I was not expecting Changelings at all. It's Viking lore win. Hey, what's up, Dr. Sanchez? How are you? I'll grow Selfless Spirit. Pass the turn. Well, opponent gain a bit of life. Timely's good. Opponent. Yeah, Changeling's gonna help Party a ton, too. Like, I feel like Changeling, that might be what makes Party at least decent. Oh, yeah, another Thoughtseize. Yup. Snapcaster, Thoughtseize takes our collected company. Yup. Oh, that Timely was good. But I'd be kind of close to dead if it wasn't for that. Opponent passes. Well, little late. Little late to the party, Remorseful Cleric. Play Remorseful Cleric. Play Horizon Canopy. Go to combat. Counter on Remorseful Cleric. Get in for 3. Hit ya. Do you expect all Kaldheim gods to be MDFCs? Yes. I think all the gods will be MDFCs, but I don't think that... Is it worth sacking Selfless Spirit to save Giver of Runes? It might be. Yeah, let's do it. I think that, so I think that all gods will be MDFCs, but I don't think all of the MDFCs will be gods. I think there'll be non-god MDFCs too. Either that or maybe there's like demigods and like non-mythic gods in the set. But that would be my guess. But yeah, I do think that that's probably the formula for the gods of Kaldheim. Well, play Cavern on Cleric. Play Cleric of Life's Bond. Go to combat. Grow the Remorseful Cleric. Go attacking. Alright, opponent down to 16. I mean, we are putting up a fight until our opponent finds a Wrath. Kai the Inexorable seems pretty sweet with Atraxis Super Friends EDH. Yeah, I think Kai is a Planeswalker that's actually probably pretty good in EDH. Okay, Mr. Panda, for the 30th month. Happy holidays to you, too. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Oh, God. Cryptic. Bounce Snapcaster. Draw a card. It's pretty funny that Cryptic went from unplayed to one of the most played cards in Modern, thanks to Mystic Sanctuary primarily. Polluted Delta for our opponent. Any advice on a tasty adult beverages for someone who just turned 21? I'm not the biggest drinker, honestly. Godless Shrine for our opponent untapped. Yeah, I'm probably the worst person to give drinking advice. Oh jeez. Timely part 2. Opponent passes. Well, sack Horizon Canopy. Draw a card. Conclave Mentor. Untap. Play a Conclave Mentor. I mean, we were trying real hard. Grow the Cleric. Play an Aether Vial. David, it is still for the 50th month. I am excited for Beard Tyrell, too. That's one of the biggest upsides of Kaldheim. So many beards returning to Magic. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super tier for you. Get it, hit ya. Down to 15 past the turn. No Ras, no Ras, no Ras, no Ras, no Ras. Opponent. What is the best adult beverage, chat? I mean, I guess I've definitely drank in the past. I just never really enjoyed drinking that much. I've drank a lot of whiskey. I don't really drink anymore. One of my roommates a while ago was the biggest Philadelphia whiskey drinker. I don't know, is Philadelphia like a national brand? It's like a relatively inexpensive whiskey, but there was always whiskey around. So I've definitely drank plenty of whiskey, but yeah, I've just never really enjoyed drinking all that much. Opponent. Oh my god, Cryptic number 4. I guess it's just 2 this game. The other one's the last game. Cryptic. Taps her board, draws a card. Ooh, licensed bartender. That's sweet. Boot it. Is that what do you actually work as a bartender? Yep, tap draw. Sure. Well. Sack Silent Clearing. More Razor Verge Thickets. Well, pass the turn. Cryptic seems very good against our deck. Are those 2 mythics announced earlier going to be available on Arena? I would assume so, because like all the Brawl deck cards and stuff are on Arena, so I would assume that they will be on Arena. Opponent attacks with the board, hits us down to 10. Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, exile your graveyard, I guess. Opponent Raz. And now we got nothing. Opponent. Well, we're going to need to find a collected company at some point and actually resolve it. Take a vial. Oh! Oh, 3 in a row? 3 Razorverge Thickets in a row? Oh. My Scotch Age Sweet Spot is 15 years for bang for the buck. Wait, my Scotch Age Sweet Spot is 15 years for bang for the buck. Oh, so 15-year-old Scotch is the way to go. Better Skull. Well, we're going to need to draw something in the very near future that is not Razorverge Thicket. I mean, I guess we cannot draw literal Razorverge Thickets anymore, which is good, heading in the right direction. Metallic Mimic. Okay, that's not a Razorverse Thicket, so win. Boot it. Batter Sculling. Yeah, we draw 4 Razorverse somehow. 3 of them in a row, too, in the last 2 turns. Or 3 turns. Opponent. Oh, sure. Yeah, well, opponent, I think, maybe top decked a little better there towards the end. Oh, boy. Oh, this deck makes me sad. I really want Clerics to be good, but, boy, have not had the matchups to show their power. Although, I mean, we have seen it do some good things. I once had 50-year-old single malt. That stuff was amazing. Don't usually drink whiskey. Does it actually make a big difference? Like, taste-wise? Like, I know older is better, but is it actually, like, that noticeable? If you drink 100-year-old whatever, you're like, oh my god, this is the single greatest experience of my life, or... Or is it just like, I guess I can kind of tell. Maybe it's slightly better. Is it one of those type of things? Well, someday, even though I'm not a drinker, I'll have to drink some 50-year-old something just to see. Although it would be lost on me. I would not be able to appreciate it like someone who regularly was. No, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, how many times has that happened, chat? How many times in this one league do we keep a non-vial hand and draw it on turn 2? I feel like that's happened like 15 out of our 10 games somehow. I know it's not possible, but it does feel like that's happened almost every game. I mean, that's certainly not improving our odds. It's certainly not improving our odds to run that way. Well, play a Mimic on Cleric. Opponent, meanwhile, their turn 2 is a Stoneforge for a Batter Skull. And any chance of me ever going to a GP in Europe? I mean, there's a chance. It would require GPs returning as a first step. So I don't think it's impossible, but it's also obviously somewhat less likely than like a close by GP that's easy to get to, because it's a lot longer and more expensive and time consuming of a trip to make it to your opponent. Finds a Thoughtseize, takes our CoCo. Well, we take up our vial. We play a play Metallic Mimic on Cleric. Pass the turn. Here comes the Batter Skull. Well, Violin. Mentor. Opponent has a Batter Skull, though. Untaps. Ugh. Opponent. Island. We might have to try Clerics again at some point. We're probably gonna have to, because I feel like they're definitely better than this league would suggest. Hey, see you, Carlo. Have a great night. We'll be back on Monday for some more streaming fun. About it. Oh. It's just been not to say that Clerics are, going to break the format or anything, but there's just been so many little things that have added up to being just short so many times. Oh, the string is back. Well, that's looking like the end of the Clerics. Again, opponent gets to untap and start Jacing and Crypticking and Razorverge Thicket past the turn. I think the deck does. I feel like we hit less than optimal matchups, for one thing. I feel like we also have not run particularly well. Like, I really do think it's been 4 or 5 games where we've drawn Ether Vial on turn 1, and those little things do add up over the course of close games. So I think it's been a combination of not great matchups, a deck that is obviously not like tier 1 top of the format, but we'll see about Cube. The problem with Cube is I don't think we're going to have time to get through much of it. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know. We might be able to, like, do a Cube draft, but I don't expect that we'd be able to play many of the matches. Well, no. I mean, even I wasn't meaning it's a tier 3 deck, but what I was meaning is if you look at the top decks in Modern, I feel like Rakdos Shadow style decks, Rakdos midrange, Mono Red Aggro, those are matchups where our deck would really get a chance to shine. And we didn't play any of those decks or any of the other fair decks. We played Omnath Uro, we played Tron, we played Ad Nauseam combo, all matchups that are kind of on the opposite end of the scale. So if you just picked out of like the 10 most popular decks in Modern, which ones we'd want to play with a Cleric deck, it would definitely be Rakdos Shadow, Mono Red Aggro, Rakdos Midrange. Those would be the 3 number 1. And then after that, maybe like Eldrami's Toolbox, something like that. So Heliod Company even. So if you look at like out of the top tier decks, matchups that would be good or bad for us, we just kind of hit the ones that would be less good compared to the ones that are good. Because I feel like if we played against Rakdos Shadow, Mono Red Aggro, then we would have a much better shot there. We could try a Cube. The only problem is, like I said, we won't get through much of it. So if you want to jump into a Cube into a draft, I'm down. But I would expect that we would most likely like get through the drafting, maybe get through a round. But I'm down with doing it if that's what people want to do. I'm definitely fine with that. I do think it'll be interesting to check it out. So Clerics, we're probably gonna have to revisit it at some point, because like I said, I do feel like the matchups were less than ideal. Do I think this deck is the new hotness that's breaking Modern? No. But do I think it's a deck that is an 05 deck? Also no, because the deck actually felt good despite those Ether Vials on turn 2 regularly, and not our most ideal matchups out of the top tier deck. So maybe we'll revisit it. Maybe we'll wait until we get some more Clerics to add to it. But it's worth keeping in mind. Is it ever going to be the best deck in the format? Is it going to be better than Humans? Probably not. Unlikely. But I do think it was better than it looked in that league. Or than I don't even think it looked bad in the league. I think it looked good in the league. It's just record looked bad in the league. I will say the sideboard's pretty questionable. Just because you're a tribal deck doesn't necessarily mean you have to have 100% tribe members, and that's doubly so for a tribe like Clerics, where you don't really have payoffs. Like, our payoff is you have a Cleric come into play, you gain a life, okay? Like, I guess technically that's sort of very slightly a tribal payoff. And then Metallic Mimic, so one, like, pseudo-lord tribal payoff. Is that enough to be like, I'm going to play really bad cards? Well, not great cards in my sideboard, just because they're a certain creature type? I'm gonna lean towards no there. So, but anyway, all right, let's try one of these drafts and just we'll see how it goes. So this is presumably the most broken draft format in the history of Magic. This is Supreme Draft Vintage Cube. So what this means is you get a new pack every time. Nothing has been taken out of the pack. So every Yeah, we'll probably do some more arena cubing next week, Oddity. But I think switching clients and trying to do a draft is gonna be tricky at this point in the stream. So I think we'll do this tonight, and then we can try some arena cube, assuming it's still going next week. So in theory, you should be able to do some pretty. Oh, did everyone want arena cube? I mean, we can switch to arena. There's gonna be. Is the arena cube actually ending in like a day or two? Because there's going to be cube on Magic Online forever. The other thing is, I like real vintage cube more than this. Everyone wants to see Supreme. All right, let's just see what a busted deck we can build in Supreme Cube. Let's just see how busted it ends up looking. So the idea of this is every single pack is new, which means no one has taken any cards out of any packs, which means these packs should be absolutely busted. Like, it is definitely possible that we're going to end up with a ridiculous amount of like Power 9 broken cards. And looking at this pack, what do we have in this pack? Well, number one, we have a Moxen. Moxen, I think, are just slam dunk, always take it in this format. Hopefully, we don't have to play even hardly any lands because we have Moxen. So I think Moxen is a slam dunk. Card 2 is not as obvious. If we take Mox for card 1, other cards of note, Lotus Petal's okay. Jace is a okay finisher, a good finisher. Could play it pretty quickly. Time Warp can be pretty good. Crucible, Strip Mine Locks. I'm just leaning towards taking Mana Vault, though. Like, that would be my obvious first choice is just, +1 mana on turn 1 into +2 mana on turn 1, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. What we're going to do with that mana later. So let's grab those. Go on to our next pack. So in cubes like this, and this is even an extreme example, do broken things, stop broken things. Do broken things, stop broken things. Keep that in your head all the time. Do something broken, stop something broken. What you don't want to be doing, in my opinion, is a Eidolon of obstructing or playing, random questing beasts and so forth. So what are we taking out of this pack? This pack's a lot tougher. There's no Moxen, there's no Power 9. We could potentially try to go for turn 1 Ugin, which would be funny. Signet is okay, not great. I like Mana Tithe for the memes, but Remand is a decent option for slowing down. This is actually like just a pretty bad pack. Ugin can, Skullclamp can be good. The only problem is it does require either like something combo-y like a Bitter Blossom or a lot of creatures. Channel is in this cube. If it's broken, it's in the cube. Yeah, I'm actually not sure how good Ugin is. Leovold seems like it could be sweet on like turn 1. Empty the Warrens also seem like, with the amount of Moxen that I think we could end up with, it definitely seems possible. Oh yeah, you're right. The chat. Let me see about moving chat over so you can see everything for the time being. We gotta pick something. Yeah, I think Remand makes sense. I could see Empty the Warrens being fine. Like, we might have enough Moxen that we can just be like, Mox, Mana Vault, empty for like 8 goblins on turn 1, go. Leovold does still stop broken things. The Signet's fine too. If we take all the... I wonder if Signets get worse because the odds of... I'm going to take empty. I don't know if we'll play it, but I'm going to take it. Another disappointing pack. Where's our power? Where's our power? The whole reason we joined this was to draft a ton of power. Bargaros, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, we could take random rituals and actually try to be a storm deck. Seething Song, Dark Ritual, something like that. I mean, Storm's not a good deck, but not normally a good deck in Cube. The land would probably be fine too. Kind of a disappointing pack, though. Like, what else are we taking out of this pack? Random control cards don't seem great. Like, I think we want to be doing something degenerate in this format even more so than other form. You know what? All right. We're going to take the 2 best rituals. Take the 2 best ritual. Okay, Ancestral. That is power. That is a card we want in our deck, for sure. We will take all of them, as many of them as possible. So, Ancestral Recall in the deck for sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess Storm probably goes up in value when you can potentially have a ton of Moxen in your deck. So take the Mox, take the Ancestral. The next pick, Desperate Ritual? I guess? Maybe, are we just going full on Storm? Is that just our plan? We've done Hybrid Storm Reanimator before. It's okay. We don't really have anything to reanimate yet, though. Or ways to get things in the graveyard. Wear Tear? I mean, Wear Tear is fine. Yeah, let's take more rituals. Okay, that's good. That's another Ancestral Recall. We will take Ancestral as our first card out of every pack. And Another Dark Ritual? Boy, this deck could be busted, couldn't it? Eternal Witness, like what? At some point we might want to fix our mana, but Dark Ritual seems fine. Dreadhorde has more Ancestral. I almost wonder if Dreadhorde's going to be too slow. Ancestral Recall, pretty good, not great, though? Really? No, I can't believe it. I can't believe it is anything other than like, it's draw 3 for 1. It's draw 3 for 1. How could that be anything other than insane? Well, that's another on-color Mox, which we're definitely taking Mox Jet number 2. Urza is interesting to me. We're going to have a lot of artifacts. It can spin. It's not a traditional Storm finisher. I feel like Thief is just too fair for that. Like, I think this format is going to be incredibly degenerate. Like, because remember, everyone's getting packs like this. So everyone's theoretically going to have several to many pieces of power. Yeah, we'll take the land, I guess. Well, Mind Twist could be an easy free win card. Like, Jet, Ritual, Mind Twist your hand on turn 1. If we're on the draw, or on the play, that probably just wins the game. So, I guess we take Mind Twist. And then, are we just taking another Blackleaf Cliffs? Blackleaf Cliffs actually seems good. We're probably going to have a pretty low land count. What else is there? There's no real Storm cards. There's random Signets, which we're kind of on the Ritual plan. Yeah, let's take Blackleaves too. Oh, it's weird having so... Oh, wow, Time Spiral. So we don't really have great lands to untap, but... Ritual, Time Spiral, refill, untap a couple lands seems reasonable. Trinket Mage has good things to get. Wooded Foothills is probably worth considering. I don't know, do we want removal? Are we even trying to remove our opponent's stuff? Or are we just, like, purely full-on... Are we just purely full-on, like, combo? Yeah, alright, we'll take Time Spiral. And then I'm leaning towards just taking Wooded Foothills here. For future mana fixing purposes. Yeah, we could use forces. If we find a force, we'll take a force for sure. I mean, Snapcaster's not bad. Snapcaster and Preordain, maybe? Swords is good removal. I like Pat Rat. Remember, though, this format's just, like, super degenerate. So I feel like cards that I would like in other formats are probably not going to be very good in this format because it's just so bonkers. Huh. I mean, Brawl's probably fine. Manamorphose, Brawl, go Modern Storm. Could also take Arid Mesa in case we get a dual land to fetch up. Yeah, I mean, Manamorphose seems fine. We haven't got that many Storm finishers, honestly. I mean, we gotta take Manamorphose for sure. Bayou. That is a black mana that we can fetch with our Wooded Foothills. It does, yeah, that is a good argument. Goblin Welder. I like Welder, but we don't have much to do with it. Yeah, Bull would be okay. I think it's either Brawl or a land. Either Arid Mesa or Bayou. I guess Hull Breacher is a concern. We have not gotten a Hull Breacher yet. We do want this to be able to get... Yeah, alright, we're going to take the land here. We'll get a removal spell at some point. Ooh, well, Bolas's Citadel seems okay. Turn 1 Bolas's Citadel, go. That seems fine-ish. Like, that's gotta be pretty good. Citadel and what? So Citadel for sure. We could take Imperial Seal. It works good with Citadel. A little bit slow with Storming because it goes on top at sorcery speed, but it's still okay. Yeah, Time Warp would also be fine. And it is snappable, which is nice. Are there a lot of Hull Breachers? Or should we be more scared of Hull Breacher than we are? I like Golos, but I don't know if this is a Golos deck. Alright, we'll take Seal. Keep just taking busted stuff as much as possible. I gotta say, I'm actually a little disappointed at the amount of power we have and about the amount of Storm cards we've hit. It's not very high. Like, if you actually look at our deck, I've definitely seen people with 4 Black Lotuses. We're most of the way through this draft, 0 Black Lotuses in 4 total pieces of power. I've definitely seen people's decks on Twitter with, like, 4 Black Lotuses, 4 plus Moxen. And we are not anywhere near that degenerate at the moment. Well, I think we take another Manamorphose. Teferi. Teferi's not bad. I don't mind Teferi. Fire and Ice is almost never bad either. Sphinx. I feel like we're trying to kill our opponent on, like, turn 0, really. Yeah, if it was 3 mana Teferi, I'd be more down. Because that's really good protection against some stuff. We are down to, we're at booster 12. So we're 2/3 of the way through as far as how long we have to find stuff. Alright, we'll take Breach. We'll see. Maybe we find something to go with it. Well, okay, this is very good news. We get Brain Freeze, which is great, and we finally get another Mox. It's off color. There's also a Past in Flames, which is interesting. I mean, we gotta take Brain Freeze. That's gonna be our easiest way to kill on turn 1. Like, Mox, Ritual, Ancestral, Brain Freeze. Pretty easy to Brain Freeze. I assume the Underworld Breach is in here. Are there a lot of... Well, Eldrazi are a concern. Well, we gotta take Freeze, and then I do think Past in Flames is good, but you can't pass a Mox. You can't pass a Mox, so we gotta take it. Oh boy, Please don't Thalius. None of that. Okay. Yeah, it might be looting Mesa. We have, what, 4 more packs after this? The Signet would be alright. Yeah, Cruise, it could be okay. Might be a little slow. I think looting's good. Looting, and then Gruul Signet or another fetch land. Mesa right now just gets a mountain. We have 2 finishers at the moment, yeah. Okay. Well, another Mana Vault. That's a good one. Mana Vault's very good. Scalding Tarn would also be very good. These Eldrazi are not the Emeralds we want a team to play with through the breach, unfortunately. We definitely gotta take Mana Vault. Yeah, probably Mana Vault Yogg-Will is the easy way to go here. 3 Mana Vaults. Well, we might not be getting all the power, but we're getting some pseudo power in these Mana Vaults. And a Ritual? Just Ritual Mana Vault again? Deck is good. But we do have Yogg-Will now. Ooh, there's actually Thassa's Oracle, too. Thassa's Oracle lets us get the Brain Freeze kill without targeting our opponent through Eldrazi. We might have to take Oracle, because I think our most common win con would be Brain Freeze, and I really feel like we don't want to get wrecked by Eldrazi, so we might have to take Oracle. I mean, we have a Empty the Warrens too, but yeah. I mean, we got our Manamorphoses. Manamorphose to save the day. Dark Ritual or Brainstorm? Oh, Mana Vault's so good, though. It's so much... It's plus 2 mana. It's like a ritual. It's a colorless ritual, but it's essentially a ritual. Dak? Are we just trying to win on turn 1, though? Is that our goal? To just try to win on turn 1? Like, how quick are these games? Are these games actually going several turns? Alright, we'll take... Oh, boy, I'm really torn. I think I've eliminated Brainstorm. We only have 2 fetch lands. Alright, we'll take Ritual. Don't dilute the... Okay, finally! Alright, there is Black Lotuses available. Oh, and Demonic Tutor. Wow, this pack's insane for us. Saved at the very end. Crack would actually be interesting, too. Would actually be very interesting, but... I mean, you can't pass up Black Lotus and Death and Demonic Tutor, just two absolutely perfect for what we're doing. As much as I wouldn't mind testing out Crack. All right, last pack. Last pack, what do we get? The answer is, well, another Mox, which that's fine. And maybe Frantic Search? Are we even going to have enough lands for Frantic Search to work? I mean, let's stick to our let's stick to our plan. We're the Storm deck. We are all in on this Storm plan. That's what we're doing. I mean, that is it. We are storming. It is going to be a land light deck. We're not going to have that many lands in it. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Moxen, 2 Mana Vaults, 3 Dark Rituals, a Desperate Ritual, a Seething Song. So that's our fast mana. Then we have card draw, Ancestral, Preordain, Frantic Search, Faithless Looting, Time Spiral, Bolus's Citadel. Then we have finishers, Brain Freeze, Mind Twist, Empty the Warrens, and to some extent, Yagwil. And then we have, and also Oracle. Then we have Remand for defense, 2 tutors, Manamorphoses, I don't even know, put them over here. They're in between card draw. I guess it's just card draw, actually. Card draw fixing. This actually looks like a pretty reasonable... This actually looks like a pretty reasonable deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We might need to cut something. We have 2 Black Cleave Cliffs. Bayou to get with Wooded Foothills. We're going to need a lot of blue mana. No green. Blue mana might be an issue. We're pretty pinched on blue. So how many lands is this in practice? 10 lands. 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 lands. Is that too greedy? Bayou. So with Bayou, Wooded Foothills is essentially a red-black dual land. We can get a Bayou or we can get a mountain. I kind of like Remand with our Storm cards, though. Yeah, we probably do need to up our land count slightly. Maybe we probably need like 2 more lands. Maybe 2 would be fine. With 2 Ancestrals, Preordain. It's probably got to be 2 more islands, honestly. 2 more islands. I don't know if this deck's going to be good. I don't usually have a ton of success with Storm. It's fun to try to Storm off, but I don't usually do well with it. What do we cut? What do we cut? Yeah, Desperate Ritual is a little medium. Desperate Ritual. Empty? Can we cut the empty? Do we need the basic swamp? Probably not. But I still think we need a land there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? 15's still cutting it really close. Well, I mean, it kind of depends on how you count these Moxen, too. So we only have 11 literal lands. But then we have 4 Moxen, 2 of them that are on color, 2 that are off. Which I guess would put us around like 14, 15 islands. Or 14, 15 lands-ish. Plus we have the rituals. All right, let's try a game. We'll cut the Remand. Let's try it. Well, I don't know. There's a chance that we could win on like turn 0. Don't cut the Remand. I'm not cutting Twist. Twist is... Twist is like our easiest way to win. Like, just... Like, Mox Double Dark Ritual Mind Twist on turn 1 probably wins the game. Remand does seem good. Cut Seething Song? Seething Song's a pretty good ritual. Twist doesn't win. Like, yeah, it doesn't literally win, that's true. But if you wipe your opponent's entire hand on... I can see cutting Seal, I guess. We got Demonic Tutor, and Seal doesn't help our combo that well. Alright, let's actually try a game. Let's at least try a game with it. Too many lands? Really, you think 12 is too many? 12 and 4 Moxen? Interesting. How many lands would you play in this deck? You would play 14 including Moxen? That is really low, isn't it? That seems incredibly low to me. I mean, we do have rituals, but... So you would actually... Wow. Well... I mean, all right, we'll go 15. We'll go 15 mana sources, I guess. That... I'm scared by that. I feel like 15 is really light, but... I think this is insane. I don't know. Maybe it's different in this format, but I have always found in traditional Vintage Cube for my that Mind Twist is a first pick quality card. Like, sure, I'm sure this format has tons of Ancestrals because we had 2 in our deck in ways people can top deck out of it. But still, like, if we turn one Wrath our opponent's entire hand, I assume that is heavily going to favor us winning. Xerox rule involves, I think it's like, boy, I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's like for every 2 cantrips you have, you can cut a land, something like that. I think that's the ratio. Is that correct, vintage Xerox players? Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. We don't have that much card draw, though, really. Ancestral, Preordain, Looting. I guess Manamorphose, sort of, but not really. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that would fall in about in the range of cutting 2 lands. All right, let's give this crazy deck a shot. I mean, it's definitely an interesting draft format. I could see myself doing it again just to see. Done with work for the year? Congratulations, Elf. That is super sweet. Is this King's Draft then? Yeah, that's not what they call it, but I think it's the same thing, yeah. So we're on the draw. Imperial Seal is like very sad vampiric tutor. Sounds super fair. We're gonna mulligan. Well, this hand has no lands. No lands, no Moxen. Well, I don't think that rituals count as mana sources, at least not in the traditional sense, because you only get to, well, this isn't good. Because you only get to use them once, so I don't think... Oh, this is so bad. I don't think you can actually count them as mana sources. How are we going to turn one win with... How are we going to turn one win with our opening hand? We didn't have anything, did we? Alright. Blackleaf Cliffs go, I guess. Yeah, we talked about spoilers very, very early in the stream today. About it. Beaten down. No, let's Imperial Seal. Opponent casts Force of Negation. I'll play the land past the turn. We're going to be doing casting a pretty desperate Frantic Search in a minute. And hoping our opponent doesn't top deck something brutal. Okay. Well, opponent top deck something pretty brutal. Blackleaf Glyphs go. Opponents. Savannah. And sort of Feast and Famine. Yeah, I guess that probably does it now. We'll give it one more turn, but that's not great. Well, we discard. Black Lotus. Crag. Opponent's deck doesn't even look very good to me, but... I mean, this isn't good, but I guess it stops the sword. Sort of. Pretty sad little empty, but better than dying to the elves. Opponents. If we had hit, we wanted to hit. Oh god. Opponent draws a wasteland. Sacks it to blow up a land. We wanted to hit Yagwil, would have been nice. I don't think the first hand was good, though. I don't feel like the first hand really did anything, did it? It was like a whole bunch of lands and Imperial Seal. Okay, so how do you think we win from there, Oddity? Like, how are you thinking we win from... Essentially, our hand was just a tutor. Lands and a tutor is what I remember from our hand. Yeah, I'm not sure about the attack there either, honestly. So what would the plan be to win from lands and a tutor? Ancestral's nice. We don't have the mana until next turn, but Demonic Tutor for Ancestral is gonna help. Opponents. Oh yeah, I can move the chat window again. What does our opponent find? More swords. Well, Ancestral. Into nothing. I'll go to combat. Attack ya. Hit ya. Blackleaf Cliffs. Go. If we ever find our Yagwil, we're in pretty interesting shape. Opponent's passing. Down to 10. Are we going to end up winning this game? That's so funny. I guess we might as well Mind Twist because we're not going to get more value out of it, I don't think. Okay. Time Spiral, Manamorphose. All right, didn't hit our Yagwil, so that's fine. Wooded Foothill, Mountain, Ancestral. All right, more manas. Hit ya. Go, go, Goblins. Go, go, Goblins. I mean, it is definitely a silly format for sure. It is kind of fun, though, I guess. Well, we're hitting all of our islands now. Get in, hit ya. Yeah, if they like have a flash creature, that's annoying, but opponent's down to 4. Untaps. Mox. And are those goblins going to get the job done? It does not seem like it should be working. Opponent. Opponent said they were trying to hold priority. Well, Moxen. Get in, hit ya. Down to 1. Play the land, pass the turn, and see if our opponent can kill us. They might have, like, reman. They might have been trying to reman their Mox just to cycle. Opponent. I mean, really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, we've run 14 of our 15 lands with 11 cards left in our deck. So are we flooding or unlucky? I would probably go with unlucky. What was the line? What was the line, Odyssey? I'm sorry, I don't think I actually saw the answer. I think you first tutor, then you go Mox, search, demonic tutor. I don't know what you draw off the search. So either Yagwil or Lotus, repeat. Then you have Stormcount around 4. Then you recast it up to 8, then cast Brain Freeze. I think the issue is, I think that line makes sense. Does that line work, though, because it was Imperial Seal? Like, so we don't actually get to tutor a card into our hand. We're just, like, tutoring something to the top of our deck to draw the following turn. So does that actually work with the slow tutor? I'm not 100% sure. I'll go to combat. Attack, yeah. I think if it was Demonic Tutor, I would have definitely kept it. But I think Imperial Seal is a lot worse. So that was one of the reasons why I felt okay about shipping it. Opponent blocks. Oh, boy. I can't believe that actually worked. Wait, second best beard. Second best. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, I like that line, Odyssey. I still am a little... Okay. Well, now we're going to get to see, hopefully. Opponent's on the play. But in theory, we can put our mind twist theory to the test. Opponent can play a bunch of Moxen. A whole bunch of Moxen. Oh, good God, opponent's got a good hand. Yeah, I don't know if we're taking out their hand now, though, honestly, because they've already played everything. We'd have to, like, Black Lotus. Yeah, this is a weird cube. No, we're not dead yet, so that's good. We did get to untap on our turn 1, so winning. Bottom and top. Go. I mean, the fact that our opponent played 6 mana on turn 1 and didn't cast anything is a little comforting. Opponent, passing. Well, play a Mox. Blackleaf Cliffs. Yeah, now we gotta try to twist. I think we just Dark Ritual twist. I mean, I guess we could also just twist X2 and hold our hand. Yeah, alright, let's Ritual. Twist. If our opponent counters, at least we get 2. Ancestral. Opponent Force of Negations. Well, alright, draw some cards. Alright, well, we'll see about next turn. Next turn we can try to potentially Bullis this Citadel. So opponent did have the counter, plays a Forest. Well, here they come. What did they find? Knight of Autumn for our Mox. Well, I would rather have that come down now than after we play this Bullis' Citadel. Well, let's see if they got another counter. This could be good. This could be real good. So Blackcleave Cliffs, Dark Ritual, Black Lotus, Black Mana, Bolas's Citadel. Oh my goodness! Oh! So our opponents got all the counters. I guess that makes sense. Oh! So our opponent just kept all mana and all counters, and it might be working. Hits us. Passes. Well, Demonic Tutor. For definitely Yogwill. I wish we had the mana to cast it this turn. Boy, next turn could be sweet, though. Alright, yeah, alright. Hopefully they're out of counters. If we get to Yogwill next turn, we're going to go off. We're gonna go off. We're gonna go off. Phone it. Nissa. Alright, sure. I don't think this actually matters here. Alright, well, we'll see if they got a counter. Like, if we resolve Yogwill, we should win this game. I would be very surprised if we did not win this game. Alright, opponent passes. Well. Yogwill. Mox Emerald. Black Lotus. Our only question is mana. We just gotta not mess up our mana, and we get to... Oh boy. We just gotta not mess up our mana. That is the only concern. Let's... spend black for Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. I'm not really too worried about our opponent's hand at this point. So we're going to need a lot of blue. Yeah, let's tutor. Alright. Well, that might beat us. Exiles our deck. Well, alright. Opponent has a weird random pile in hand, and it might be enough. Well, we tutor for. Mana Vault. Yep, alright. Well, fair enough. I mean, if we cast Mind Twist on one, then they just cast it in response, so... Mind Twist on one doesn't stop our opponent from casting Brain Freeze. Storm counts both players for the turn, yeah. Well, okay. I guess we'll see if our opponent has... Let's see if they have Force Negation, I guess. Blackleaf Cliffs. Dark Ritual. Black Lotus. Crack it for red. Manamorphose. Add blue and red. Seething Song. Faithless Looting. Discard. Can we preordain first? Yeah, I think we can. Discard. Preordain. Bottom. Yagwil. Mox Jet. Seething Song. Dark Ritual. Manamorphose. I mean, this is quite the turn one. This is quite the turn one. At blue. Oh, Black Lotus. So we need red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ballistus Citadel. Well, run out Snapcaster. Oh, that might be enough. That might be enough. Storm count 14? Okay. Empty. Yes! We might be getting the turn 1 win. Oh, we definitely getting the turn 1 win, unless our opponent has Eldrazi. Even if they have Eldrazi in their deck, we just win, right? We Demonic Tutor for Brain Freeze ourself. Okay, keep it going. What a turn! Afro Throws! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Oh, Brain Freeze. Ourself. I mean, our opponent would have countered if they could. So, let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And then the rest can go to our opponent. And opponent scoops it up! Our opponent scoops it up! Yes! Yeah, we have Oracle in our graveyard that we can cast because of the Yagwil that we cast a long time ago. So I was actually a little worried that I was going to mess that up. That is actually like kind of a convoluted way to store, but that ended up being the turn 1 kill. Yeah, so what we were doing there, because I'm sorry, I was trying to focus on not punting there. So what we had going there is we were going to Brain Freeze ourselves. We could Brain Freeze our opponent, but they could have Eldrazi that would ruin our Brain Freeze plan, and then Brain Freeze gets exiled because of our Yagwil earlier. So we Brain Freeze ourselves to mill our entire deck, and then with our mana left over, we just Thassa's Oracle from our graveyard, thanks to Yagwil, win the game, turn 1 kill. Also, I mean, we could have just passed and had 30 goblins and a Snapcaster Mage. Okay. Whew. I don't even know, like, maybe we just end there. Like, I don't think it's better than that. Do we want to taint the memory of... I mean, you can't go out any better. We're already longer than normal, like... I think we go out on top. We're not going to top that. Like, it's not going to get better than us drafting and turn one killing. Mic drop. I always like those athletes that they win the World Series and then they're just like, done record, I'm out of it. So we will change our record to 1-0, and I don't, maybe we'll mess around with this format again, because it does seem like you do some crazy things. So maybe we will, I don't know. I think next week for our stream, we have streams on Monday and Tuesday at the normal time. So I kind of want to do some more cubing. So expect some more cubing next week in one way or another. But it doesn't get better than turn one win. That was spectacular. So the safest way is to cast Oracle with Oracle Trigger on the stack and then cast Brain Freeze once it resolves. Yeah, I mean, you are correct. I think I wasn't overly concerned because we did about 1 million things that I think our opponent would have interacted with that game. So it was very hard to imagine that our opponent was like holding a Force of Negation or a Force of Will all that time. And like, nah, Bolus of Citadel, that's fine. Yagg-Will, that's fine. So I think at that point, we gotta assume that our opponent has nothing. But Historic Kaya ATO seems like a good possibility for the future once it comes out. And Kaya Tribal, we gotta do that too. Oh my god, everyone. So what did we learn tonight? We learned that we can kill people on literal turn one without our opponent doing a single thing in Supreme Vintage Cube Phantom Draft. We learned that Clerics, oh boy, they're not good at winning, but they actually felt pretty solid. Mostly, we learned that all of you are awesome and are just like, I appreciate y'all so much. Seriously, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out, having fun, cubing, moderning, and all that stuff. So reminders before we wrap things up tonight. Replay YouTube, that's where you find the old streams. Normal YouTube, there's an Instant Deck Tech tonight. There'll be more spoiler coverage. There's Commander Clash tomorrow. There'll be a Memer Dream going up this weekend. So tons of stuff going up on the YouTube channel. And one more reminder that our sponsor is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, I don't think Kaldheim is up yet, but I don't know, maybe you need Commander Legends or want to get prepared for the decks and cards you need for Kaldheim, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free Scoop Soldier sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. And as I said, most importantly, thank you to all of you for being awesome and amazing. Y'all are great. Have a wonderful weekend, a great Friday, a great Saturday, an even better Sunday, and then I will see you on Monday to have some more fun, 2 Eastern in the afternoons for our Euro-friendly stream time. So until then, everyone, have a great night, have a great weekend. I love y'all, and I'll see you on Monday, and I will talk to you soon.